Thank you, Father, for the gospel. The only way to the Father is through the gospel. Christ is the narrow way. That's the gospel. So thank you, Father, for creating, birthing Shiloh, Hamashiach, your word in flesh. Thank you for the covenant, for this new covenant, prognosko. You had foreknowledge of from the foundation of the world before you even created anything. You already knew you would create salvation. That wasn't a salvation wasn't it couldn't be saved, can't be saved. You have to die to be saved. No, that last trump, I have not heard that last shofar, ram's horn sound. So that is you, Father. You are the ram. So yeah, gospel can't be changed. Gospel is the narrow way. That's the Handos. He said, I am the Handos. Handos. That's to be in the same narrow way. So there's the broad way, and that's the way that leads to hell. Hell is the place of no knowledge. So it's not actually a place, it's bis, knowledge, the lack of or no knowledge, lack of Father's word, Father's bis. Father is the word. Father is not flesh. Father is Hokadesh, spirit or ghost. No such thing as ghost. Father is ghost. So I like to pervert Hebrew word froward. That's to add. He said, don't add or take away. It's to pervert. You've changed and perverted the word. He is the word. He's not a temple. He's not a book. Book is the word Bible, and he's not a Bible. He's the words within that book. He is the Hokadesh. He's the spirit. He's the law, the Torah. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. The Jewish law. That is I am. That is the Ram. He had to birth. He doesn't exist in flesh. And he exists in flesh, and he didn't love Esau, and he didn't love the Gentiles. And under the Old Testament, one sin was death. The abyss. Hell. Not below your feet. But bathos. Bathos is the word. Hell. Bathos. That's the word. Abathos. That is bis. Bis is knowledge. Bathos is knowledge. He said, my people shall perish for lack of bathos. I'll throw them in the abyss. Or busos. Busos. B-U-S-O-S is busos. That's the word. Hell. Hell. Abusos. Or abyss. Bis is the word. B-Y-S-S. That's the word. That's hell. Bis, bathos, and busos all mean knowledge. The lack of knowledge, no knowledge. Knowledge is hell. Knowledge is no knowledge. That's what hell is. No knowledge. 3 different ways. How do you like it sliced? Just sliced it 3 ways for you in the Greek. Now you know what hell is. Not a place below your feet. It's the word no knowledge. You see, my people shall perish for lack of bis. They'll spend their time gnashing teeth in the abyss until the little season. And he'll release the flesh again. The meat suit that makes us sin. Sin is the suit. The meat suit. Yes, the low energy swine. He said, don't sup with vipers and don't cast your pearls in the mud before swine. Demons. Liars, the adversary, distributors of fortunes. Demonion. That's what a demon is. It's a liar. By definition, it's a fortune teller. No such thing as fortunes. No such thing as wishes. No such thing as luck. No such thing as free will. No such thing as being saved. There's been no final trump. Only will the dead raised from the ashes and the dust be redeemed at the wedding feast of the lambs. Then they will be saved. Nobody's been saved, can't be saved. That's blasphemy. I want to define the Greek. Or you're going to spend time gnashing teeth in the abathos abyss. Knowledge is the word Hokadesh. Christ, the anointed in oil in flesh. The word in flesh. But he can't sin because he's perfect. The kingdom of heaven is within. Christ in you. Not in a temple. Not in a house made by hands. So what Paul said, we must go through much thalipsis to receive that kingdom of God. Kingdom of heaven. It's not in the sky. There's no heaven above your head. That's not what heaven is. Heavens are his pride. And what under the testament of pride, that is a sin. He used to have a pride, his favorite. Remember Leo, that is Judah, Christ, the Hamashiach, born out of Judah, from the house of David. Remember, David declared him the Lamb. It's all about the Lamb. The wedding supper, the wedding feast, the marriage supper, or the marriage. It'll be a wedding. How's that a religion? I rebuke religions. Vain, worthless. Jeremiah 10, he said they're all worthless. Their customs, their celebrations, their rituals. It's all been blotted out. Get it, Uggy? Puppy's getting a big old drink. Good boy. Good job. So, Colossians 2 and 14. Once pounded out on rock and stone, scrolls and tablets. Not iPhone tablets or Apple tablets or whatever they call those things. Like the 10 Commandments. Oh, don't get surgery. What do you get surgery for? I don't trust doctors. Snakes up a pole. Nope, don't wish you luck. I hope the Father wants you to die there on the operating table. That you die! And that you don't live. Because I don't wish for anything other than the Father's will be done. Thy kingdom come. And if he wants you to live, well, I hope that everything that's Father's will, not luck. No such thing as luck. No such thing as free will. People come in here. Will you pray for Aunt Betty? She's on the operating table. Well, if Father wants her to die, I hope she dies. I don't want to, you want to get in the way of the will of the Father? That is the word. Or gay. He's testing you. Yep. Quick to judgment. Let Father take care of that. He'll condemn. If you're supposed to die, die for Christ's sake. Your day of death is already written. No free will, no luck. No wishes. Wish you luck. What are you, a fortune teller? You're a demon. You're a liar. You're a deceiver. Learn what's coming out of your face. Your pie hole. Your lips there, Mrs. Potato Head. So, Thank you for coming in, Sabrina. We're just going to go some straight up gospel. And here, Father sent his son, and he was hated by the world, and he stood up to the law. He stood to the church. These are the synagogues of Satan, he said. You do your works of the Father, the distributor of fortunes, the adversary, Satan, the demonion, the devil. That's not a word. There's no such thing as devil. Huh, Buggy. It's my big guy. I love you, big guys. Oh, my goodness. She just sneezed on me, you old silly goose. Oh, you silly goose. Yeah, straight up gospel. Father doesn't love everybody. He only loves his bride. And that's the marriage supper, the wedding feast of the lambs. And that's only oligos will have their names called out in that book. Most people go to hell. That's the gospel, baby. Tell everybody you know. This time you chose a little bit of everybody. Jews and Gentiles, man and woman, were all equally yoked. Yes, go. Mary declared Christ had risen. Hallelujah. For the bride is going to be coming. Prepare your vessels. He said, trim your lamps and have extra oil. He's the one anointed in oil. Purify yourself. He purified himself of this world and these mammon traditions of men. Bride is going to, yes, he fulfilled all those rituals. Now it's blotted out and written on the hearts of the bride. They'll be called out in that book, the Lamb's book of life. He said, I am the Horizo, I am the life. I separate the dark from the light. I create life. I create all things. I am Father, the Most High. I am the Aleph. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I'm the beginning and the end. I create all things. I create evil. I do all these things after my own counsel. I am the separator. I am the Horizo. I divide. Not you. You're a false teacher if you cause the divide. You are the Scorpizzo. You're the false teacher, the prophet. That's right. All prophecy was fulfilled. He said it was fulfilled. Woo! I love that part. Man, I love that part. Ah! Woo! All the celebrations. No more celebrating a damn thing. Not by celebration are you saved, only by faith. Not by fee or fine. He was the Last Supper. Remember, they ate lamb. Not Catholic Satanist crackers, and that represents the orgy Jesus. Remember, there's two Jesus. No, there's not. Yes, there is. Stop it. There's many Jesus. Yes, he said, I called you out as a whore. Remember, in the book of Revelation. Because she cheated on his Torah, his Agape. They went after gods of the sky. They had a burnt offering of an orgy man. They would man-gender him and beast, bender-gender his flesh and bend him over and fill him full of all kinds of semen samples from beast man and woman. It was a ritual. They love their celebrations. They love their orgies, their Christ Mass, their eating of the flesh of the Catholic Yule wheel, the Catholicism, the Christianity, Christ Mass. The Masse, the eating of human flesh. Remember, the giants were eating flesh. The Anaki, the Anunnaki, the Philistines, the champions. Don't waste your brain going in. Book of Fables. Yeah, don't waste your time on fairy tales. Fairy is a Celtic demon. An Arab demon is a genie. Like I Dream a Genie. Remember Twinkle Toes? Learn technology. Oh, learn tech. The iron will not cleave with the watery clay. You tell that to Mr. Stinky Pedophile Muskrat.
because they're at the island at Trumpstein Island. It's not Epstein Island, it's Trumpstein. They're both island boys. They're all island boys. They take little boys and girls to the island. Woo! How about that? All your religions, get out of here, child. Get away from me. Get rid of this stupid idiot child. Get rid of this stinky swine, mammon traditions of men. We're sharing the gospel. We don't share it with swine, demons, distributive fortunes, genies, liars, Nephilim, bully, Nephilim, bully, liar. Thanks for getting rid of them. Boom, shakalaka. Remember? He said, I am the horizo. You know what that is? That is Father. I separate the dark flesh. You must deny yourself. Take up your cross. Nobody hung from crosses. Stop it. He tells you to take up your cross daily. Daily bread, daily supper, right? Lamb, wedding feast of the lambs. He said, before Abraham was, I am. I am the Aletheia. I am the truth. I am the Hados. I am the way. The only way is through Shiloh at the wedding. Ain't no other way. Oh, yes, there's the Broadway. Broadway. Get the Broadway. Broad is the way. Broadway. The Broadway Jesus. Look at that. You must deny yourself daily. Take up your cross. Oh, it's backwards. Huh. Oh, well. We don't care. You'll have to give me correct corn. I don't care. You must know it. It's already on the hearts of the bride. I'm not changing anybody. Only by self will they have their names blotted out of that book of life. Self-will. Deny yourself daily. Take up your cross daily and follow. Do what I did. Does anybody want to hang you from a tree? Does anybody want to stripe and whip you? Are you earning your stripes? Love him. He said, walk and follow commandments. Are you a disciple? The disciples understand the commandments. Not only do they understand, but they execute daily. They're crucified like he was. They hated me before they hated you. Remember, you're not here to be loved. That's the word agape. He says, call no man teacher, right? Call no man father. Call no man reverend. I am revelation, not reverend. I am the apocalypse. Checking out on the prison bus. Does anybody want to throw you in prison? You ain't going to the wedding feast of lambs if you ain't been thrown in jail for standing up to America, the beast. No mystery, Babylon. Remember, he called his wife as a whore. And it's all about a wedding. Remember, he divorced his bride that day, and he said there'd be a wedding. Yes. Remember, the bride would tarry. Oh. Here we are, the bridegroom, the marriage supper of the Lamb. Remember, David declared him the Lamb. That makes Father the Ram. The horn, the last shofar, the final trump. Then you'll be saved, but not until then. So nobody's been saved. Can't be saved. Blasphemy. You idiots. Nobody's been saved. You can't be saved. That's the word sozo. Picked up, carried, lifted from beginning point into an ending point. After you die, healed. That's not me, Randy. It's the word that does it. It's written on the hearts of the bride. It's not me. All glory to Christ through definition. The aletheia, define one word at a time. He's the word. He is the word. He is the word Hokadesh. Spirit, not flesh, like faith that the things unseen. People believe in error, but they can't. Never mind. We're in the age of error, baby. We're here. We made it to the book of Revelation. We're in the last pages. We're at the end of the beginning of sorrows. You thought you were getting out of here early, didn't you? That's not how it's written. Better get on that. Get back to cracking the book. Remember, he's the master of cracking the whip. Remember, Jimmy crack corn, and I don't care. Can't serve two masters. Your master's dead to me. I die daily to self-flesh. He told me in the book of Matthew. Well, I didn't ask for that either, did I? No. Father made me that. Thank Father, please. Yes, thank Father, the Most High God. Not the one in the sky, the one that's... I'm going to leave this place. I'm going to go to where my Father's house is at. Blotted out in the book of Colossians 2:14. What's written on tables of stone is now blotted out. Sprinkled on the hearts. On tables, it used to be on altars. He was the last sacrifice, fulfilling. It is fulfilled, he said. They didn't eat crackers and grape juice. They ate lamb at the Last Supper. We're going to the supper, the wedding supper, baby. Don't you see it? It's in the Word. It's in the Word. No, we don't say peace. Those who say peace and safety, sudden destruction will come upon those who call out for peace and safety. No. Satanists, no peace in here. We find our peace in suffering. Daily bread. Bread. How about meat? He said, eat of the meat in the book of Malachi. I feed you the meat. That I do. But Father made me. He said, I have to. Do not hide that light. That is the meat in a basket behind a bushel. Share it. Don't boast because you know, but whoa! Ha! The riders of Revelation. Ha! The rider on the white horse, the one with a scepter. Whoa! You don't want to be on the other end of that. Whoa, do you? Whoa, if you don't share that light. And go out and tell everybody, no, the king is coming. He's nigh. Look out, for your redemption draweth nigh. Yes. Go tell everybody he's saved, right? Only his bride. They're already bought, paid, and chosen from the foundation of the world. Yes, like vessels of wrath from the foundation of the world, fitted for destruction. Hell. Broad way, because they do not want to deny themselves. He doesn't make them. He only makes his bride. He said, if I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, not one of them would. Not one of us is coming to Father because we want to. He's making us love him. Yes, he does. That's why most people go to hell. That's how it's written. Come up here with Letty. Oh, my buddy. Look at this big old guy. Oh, look at this big old guy. Oh, I just love this big old guy. Oh, I just love my puppy dogs. Oh, you're just the best guy. You're just the best guy. Thank you for good puppies. Dogs don't go to heaven because dogs don't sin. They don't have a soul to be judged. They're just always good boys. Oh, I love you, baby boy. You're my best guy I ever did have. Oh, don't put your sneezing on me. You just like sneezing on the dead. You're sneezing on the dead. Sneezing on the dead. We love you, Biggie. That's my best puppy dog. Never ever lied, cheated, or stole from me. And here's Mr. Bobo. He's down here too. He just wants some love too. All right. So, straight up gospel. You can't beat the gospel, brothers and sisters. It is the gem, man. It is the treasure. He said, don't cast your pearls before swine, pigs, people in government, principalities, powers, rulers of the darkness of this world, spiritual wickedness. Now it's blotted out, sprinkled with the blood of the Lamb on fleshy tables of our hearts. It's all spiritual. He said it was fulfilled. Love you, Biggie. You're a big boy. He who loves the puppy more than me is not worthy of me. But they sure make good boys, don't they? They should be boys. So, the gospel is the narrow way. The gospel can't be changed. If you add a jot, that's not the gospel. The gospel is suffering. The gospel is tribulation. The gospel is long suffering. You're such a goofy goober. You're such a good boy. Okay. You want to give me a knuckle? Oh, I love you. Oh, you're such a good boy. He's a good guy. He's a good boy. He's a part dingo, so he ate the baby Jesus. Somebody put the baby Jesus. Did you eat the baby Jesus? Did somebody set the baby Jesus on the windowsill? Did you eat the baby? Dingo, did you eat the baby? I think he ate the baby Jesus. Yes, you did. I love you. You're a big boy. All right. Okay, you're a good boy. You're good. You're a good boy today. I love you. All right. So you got sharing the gospel, sharing the light. No kisses. You're a silly guy. Stop it. You're still on the show. You're still on the show. You're still on the show. Stop it. Nah, he's okay. He can eat the baby Jesus. He's part dingo. That's what dingos do. You shouldn't put the baby on the windowsill, huh? Don't put the baby on the windowsill. Don't. You better keep your... No, you better not kiss me. You kiss, you lick yourself. Now, don't you kiss me. No, no. Keep those paws, keep your paws down, please. Thank you very much. Keep your pants down. His nickname is Pants. Pants down. You're such a good boy. He's such a loving boy. He loves the dad. He's a dad's boy. His name is Bobo. Bobo, Yoder, and Pants. He has 3 names, so. All right, would you get off of me? Please, you're stealing the show. Would you please? I'm trying to do a live stream. Okay, hold on. Okay, if I touch him, he'll. Okay. All done. All done. Thank you. Which Jesus? There's more than one Jesus. There's more than one Jesus. There's only one gospel, so there's more than one Christ, right? Paul said another gospel, another Jesus. So which Jesus do you speak of? Because Jesus is a translated name. No, there's no such thing as God. There's no such thing as Jesus. So you can stop typing in capital letters. You're not going to get anybody's attention by typing pagan translated names. Name is Shem, not name. J is the last letter added to the alphabet, not Z. There's no J. Would you put your paws down, please? Thank you. I'm trying to do a live stream. All done, buddy. I'm going to make you get down. I'm all done for now. You're being a good boy. No, there's no vowels in Hebrew, so not Yahushua is the son of Father Yahuwah. Those are translated names. There's no vowels in Hebrew. You speak like a Satanist. Those are translated names. There's no vowels in Hebrew. Yahushua HaMashiach, Yahushua Bahim HaMashiach. I speak Hebrew, speak Greek. You're not, there's no vowels in Hebrew. You're a Satanist, Sarah. You add vowels to Hebrew. You got your barnyard Jesus. You might as well be one of those fake Hebrew Israelites. So grow up. There's no vowels in Hebrew. No, stop adding. You're adding a yod. It's called a yod letters. Your barnyard Jesus, E-I-E-I-O or A-E-I-O-U. There's no vowels in Hebrew, so stop it. You don't know what you're talking about. Neither does MC. It's about as smart as MC up there. Go back and study the word. You'll find no J's in Hebrew, nor will you find no J's. So that wasn't very kind. I'm completely bored until you don't know my faith. I'm typing as I'd say it and study Paleo Hebrew. I study the Hebrew, idiot. There's no vowels in Hebrew. You're an idiot. YHWH. Please leave, Sarah. Go away from me, you Jezebel. You stink like the earth. You don't know any of the words. You don't define them in the original text. You speak some other text that's not defined. So there's only one text that has been canonized, and you speak and add vowels. So, don't add vowels to Hebrew. This Jesus King up there, and there was no J's. J was the last letter. You've done a little bit of studying, but you're not refined.
So please go away from me. Don't say anything else in here. Stop being nice. Nice means to be stupid. You're acting stupid in here, and no stupid people are allowed in here unless they are willing to be refined and not a dumbass. Because asses are people who can't learn and cannot be reproofed with the word or refined. Remember, we're supposed to be put under a hot, fire baptism, not by water, but by blood or fire or, well, long fire. So, long suffering. The only way you're going to be refined as gold and silver, as he said, to be put in a lot of pressure. So if you're already sad or whatever you said, that you ain't going to make it through the pressure and the fire, you got errors in you, or well, impurities, and he pushes that and he beats us out of that. So he beats that air out of us. He beats any error in your final fire, your judgment. You're going to crack and just go right back into, he's creating a masterpiece. Apparently you're not one of the chosen. So many are called, but oligos are chosen, very few. Just a puny fraction of both Jew and Gentile this time, not just Aaron and Levite. His high priest, his pride. Remember, he had a favorite that's called heavens, not above your head. Remember, like a pride of lions. Remember Leo, he sprang out of Judah, right? David declared him the lamb. That makes him father the ram. So, don't speak out of the text. If you add a jot, yod, tittle, thought, pornea, you'll have your blotted out of that book. That's called, you're the editor. He's the author, the writer, the creator. You're the editor. Only by self will we have your name blotted out of that book. So you can edit it. So there you go. Go study the word in the canonized version so you can define what the abyss you're saying. Hell has no knowledge. You don't know what you're talking about. So go back and study. We're doing it live. This is a live stream. We're just straight gospel right now, only gospel. So Father and everybody, he would have been in jail and stood up to the American corporation by now and would have stood against all this taxation, fee, fine, custom, ritual, all this. He would have definitely been thrown in prison and probably killed already. So if they don't want to kill you, throw you in prison, and you don't have a record for standing against America, then you're probably not going to have your name called out in that wedding feast of lambs. I'm just judging with righteous judgment. So I'm being serious. He was hated. They striped him, whipped him, threw him in jail. He wasn't some lovey-dovey Jesus. That's agape. You're thinking about phileo. You love your wife's rack like you love the rack on your truck. He told Peter that. Remember, I'm not asking you, Peter, if you phileo me. So listen here, Nimrod, snip Peter. You guys are spoiled. You know that? You're spoiled boys. Easy, pants. Don't be darting out the door like that. Somebody was standing there, you would have knocked them over. Thank you. Slow down. Crazy puppy. This is my crazy bingo boy. Yeah, that's right. You can't turn a goat into a sheep. For lack of knowledge, he strips them of that at their final judgment. Remember, of all this aletheia. You ever heard of the term people in hell want ice water? What do you think that means? Remember, he told the woman at the well, you will drink of the deep water and you will never thirst again. You'll just want one jot or a yod or a tittle of that aletheia truth. You'll remember what it tasted like. Oh, yeah, there'll be a gnashing of teeth. You'd be like, oh, man, I just remember what it did. I just want to listen to Father, yeah? Yeah, you'll just want it so bad. In fact, it's cold as hell. Mr. Rocket Man, the old guy who wants you to come on, try, knew. Mr. Piano Man. So, Cosmos and early arrangements. Oh, Mr. Elton. They like to play with you, play little silly reindeer games and put it in television and music. La musica. Rocket Man burning out his fuse up here alone in space. Oh, never mind. Get out of my space. But it's okay. Remember, he didn't choose but a fraction of the whole this time. So most people go to hell. Just the way it's written. Can't turn a goat into a sheep. Most people, again, are not into the word. They're into what is called phileo or the world.
Mammon, Jezebel, traditions of men, celebrations. No, we're not supposed to celebrate anything. He said it's fulfilled. Remember? He fulfilled all the rituals. Remember? Feast, fire. He was the rituals. Remember? That's all blotted out in the book of Colossians 2 and 14. Jeremiah 10. How about that? Their rituals, their customs are vain. Their celebrations, their Yule wheel worship. Learn not their ways. Oh, heareth what the Lord say. Oh, Ish, Rai, El. He's only speaking to his bride. A little bit of everybody. Learn not the ways of the heathens, and be not dismayed at the ways of the signs of the firmament. Right? So, there's been signs in the firmament, but you missed them, markers, but that's okay. You still need to know the gospel in the, in the scriptures. But the scriptures is written in the celestial firmament above your head, in the stars, sun, and moon. Oh, yes, it is. That's where the whole church is missing it, but that's okay. Many are called, but few are chosen. He didn't make many magi. There were many magi at the time, but not in this day and age. Many are called, but few are chosen. Once again, Holy Gas. He already chose who's going to have celestial eyes and celestial bliss. So I was saved in a baptized church. No, you weren't saved. You can't be saved. You're a Satanist already out the gate. So there's no such thing as saved. You can't be saved. The only way to be saved is to show up at the wedding feast of the lambs. You got to have your name called out. You're not saved. Nobody's ever been saved. You're an idiot. And so you're an adversary, meaning you're a Satanist because you're adding to his book. There's no such thing as water baptism. That was a halakha ritual by the Pharisees, and that was something you've never studied, so you don't know what you're talking about. You're just I did it when I was young, got my son water dipped. That's a halakha ritual by the Pharisees. They made up their own version of the Old Testament Torah. It was called the Targum or their Mishnah or their Talmud, whatever it is. You can call it whatever. It's perverted. The word is froward. They made up their own oral law called the Halakha and the Haggadah. Study. Go see Jim Brown. He'll help straighten you out. No such thing as a baptism by water. That's called bapto or baptizo. We were just talking about pressing the old air out of you, pressing you like clay, or the age of clay. Mr. Stinky Muskrat, the iron will not cleave with the watery clay. We're not in a golden age, like Mr. Warp Speed said. So, but anyways, go see Brother Jim Brown. You're not in a church. He didn't dwell in any temple. He called them out as the synagogues of Satan. Bring any one of your church members here. Bring them to Grace and Truth Ministries, and we'll show you even the most. We had some biblical scholar come in the other day, and we put him on his face in about 3 minutes. He was gone. He left with his tail tucked between his legs. He didn't speak any Greek. How could you be a biblical scholar and not speak any Greek? Holy Ghost a little bit, and all he would do is just change and twist, and he had his own version. So that's because he didn't define the word. I can tell. He just got schooled both ways, and here we just refined him. Remember, you're not supposed to sup with vipers or cast your pearls before swine. So swine is low energy. Swine is people who make up their own. Swine is a liar. Okay. No, you don't know anything. So please don't talk about anything in the scripture ever again. You need to stop talking and go unlearn. You need to probably spend about, maybe a year over at Grace and Truth Ministries. He'll help you unlearn. That's the nice thing about Grace and Truth Ministries. Yeah, it's a Father said, if I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, not one of them would. Not one of them would. If I did not call on their hearts to seek after me, nobody's coming to Father. Father is making us love him. Father only loves his bride. Most people go to hell. Go see Jim Brown. You need to unlearn. That's the greatest thing about Jim Brown. You can do it here, but Jim Brown will help you. He's just much better at doing it. He has 4 decades at least on me. So Grace and Truth Ministries here on YouTube. You need not to speak anything about scripture. There's some hunger in you. And he said, if I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, but don't say anything else about scripture because you don't know what you're talking about at all. You sound like a religious person. All religions are vain, and that's fine. I'm refining you. That's what we do. We reproof each other with the word, and people who can accept that are ones that are not brutish in nature and not an ass. An ass is somebody stubborn and won't with the word. They don't want to hear it, falls on deaf ears, and they got their own version that's called idolatry. And that's exactly why he divorced his bride. But it sounds like there's some kind of hunger in you, so go sup with Jim Brown.
at Grace and Truth Ministries. You'll see Brother Ross over there, others in the chat coming out, DSW, others, and he did a live streaming today. You missed it. Go see his live stream today. He had a live stream today. So you need to unlearn and relearn. That's the best thing about. Yep. Hallelujah. Thank you for sending another one over there. We send, I don't know how many families, probably sent thousands over there through the years, but that's okay. We're not doing it for any of the other thing because that's called fellowship. And he said, don't hide that light in a basket. Share that light. If you don't, like, remember, give that shekel to the rich man. We need to share these things that we have. Be charitable with the word. To be charitable, when we have something, we can help others. Where if they're in the broad way, we show them to the narrow way. That's all we're here to do. I overdo it sometimes because I dangle the golden carrot in front of them, but that's right. We troll the trolls here on YouTube. So we're trying to lessen that. Really am. That's why we're giving more people the rich. And, I think Randy's ready for a wrench here. Randy's just spitting. Alethea wants that, and we've taken away wrenches. We lost Martello. We number 10 socketed him, he got lost. Get out of here, loser. Well, no, we lost the socket and he took away his wrench, but he came in here talking. Some of the moderators were drunk or something like that. And I think he might've been drinking. So he'd never been like that before. So I don't know why. He'd been here for years, but, thank you, Randy, for coming in. I've seen you here again. I need to give out some more of these wrenches because we just need to wrench out we're not supposed to sup with vipers. Okay. And like Brother Jim Brown teaches, you don't hang out, in I can't remember. He is good, but I have my own, you don't hang out with vipers. Okay. And it does not rub off you. You don't go, they're going to rub you the right way. If you go in some whorehouse and sit there with $10 in your pocket and you think you're some upright man or woman, and they've got both, you're going to say, hey, Sir Mix-a-Lot, what do we get for $10? And she's going to say anything you want. And you're like, anything? She's like, ask me, so, all right, we had to do this for Mix-a-Lot here, but the same thing. You don't sup with vipers and you don't cast your pearls before liars and deceivers, people who twist the word, people who love Christmas, people who do celebrations, people who are going after America and support this beast system that is taxing and feeing and finding exactly what Christ went into the church and whipped the people who were selling the doves. Because remember, he required 2 doves at the altar, a sacrifice, right? Water dipped, called, and circumcised to the flesh. Remember, you had to come back 3 times a year to enter into the, set apart days, the end gathering days, the Feast of Leaven, leavened bread, the end gatherings, the Feast of Trumpets. All these were set apart days. And we don't do any of these things anymore. We don't do any of these things for it. Okay. So yeah. Just sup with the word, define it in the Texas Receptus. So, you're defining something, and get your lexicon and get your concordance and use your eSword app. The internet goes out, and to start unlearning and relearning again, because you are probably a Satanist. Most people go to hell because they don't have any knowledge. They're already in hell. Hell's the word no knowledge. Abyss, abathus, abusos. So no weapon formed against the gospel. Nobody will come in here and against this gospel or Jim Brown at Grace and Truth. He's not a church. It's a classroom, and there's nothing you can put. I don't know anybody else that's sharing the gospel in any other ministry anywhere in the world. You can bring them here. I suggest you go to Jim Brown. If you think you really can challenge and you want to challenge somebody that knows the Alethea and is a walking concordance, and I'm not elevating him. He's just a man that loves the word like me. Father makes some of us love the word and most of us don't. He's the word Alethea, truth, or Hokadesh, ghost. Father's a ghost. Okay. Father is ghost. So don't call anything. There's no such thing as ghost. That is the word Hokadesh, or spirit. That is like faith, the things unseen. You can't see Father because he doesn't have a physical vessel. He had to birth a physical vessel to fulfill the Gentile nations. That is Shiloh. That is the word in flesh. Hallelujah. 3 separate gods, not this cracker Jesus, Catholicism, Satanism, 3 gender God with one pole worship, the one freedom tower, 4 triangles up, 4 triangles down, the whole freedom ether tower, free will, freedom will, free tower. Obama signed the top of that. His wife was a man gender. He's a bi. Barry Soetoro, known homosexual. Here we go, Rocket Man. Here we go. Trade lightsabers in their eye soles. Yep. Remember? Vomit.
then you know what? We had 4 + 5 is 9. Then he, remember, I was a snake that you let me, before you let me in. Remember, he did all his people. How many rallies did he do that at to? Probably 88. I was a snake before you let me in. And then he let his buddy Joe Biden in. So remember, I was a snake before you let me in. And then he let Joe Biden. So all cheeks to the same hole, wings to the same dragon. So we're supposed to be standing up to this beast. Christ stood up to the modern, at the time, Halakha is the corporation. The old Constitutional Republic was a blessed nation. It's called the Mayflower Nation. It talked about a nation that'd be blessed for 400 years, and that went up at the time of the COVID. That all ended at the start of Revelation. We wintered when we 100% entered the last book. You know what I'm saying? The last book, because the firmament declared it, not I. When Jupiter conjuncted Saturn, I know we're in that new age. That's what I'm saying. All this is all being revealed by the celestial firmament, the clock above our head, not this pagan calendar that everybody has. And I don't suggest that you come here for your celestial teaching. If you need some celestial understanding, and you don't need the celestial gospel to go to Father. Many are called and few are chosen. Even there is a reason why people shouldn't look at this celestial abyss. They get confused. That's why in the book of Jeremiah 10 it said, "Oh, heareth what the Lord say, O Israel, learn not the ways of the heathens, and be not dismayed at the signs of the firmament, for the heathens are dismayed at them." You're going to take this all wrong. And, oh my God, he's saying it's the end of the world. No, and I'm not picking days or hours, because I, as a magi, can understand the celestial firmament. Father's birthed me to do this, because this is not something that many are called, but few can even understand, that even know that we're in the age of the apocalypse. We're in the last book, because the age of Pisces was the age when the veil was put over by Constantine and the deadly headwind that was healed in Scripture. Go see Brother Jim. He'll help you teach that. He just doesn't quite understand it in the celestial abyss. And that's fine. You don't need to know that. I'm telling you. It's called Timothy. Adding to your faith is all it is. So I suggest you have to build on a rock. And Brother Jim will help show you to that through the Petra. And so I just make sure, like I said, we live in a time where 99% of the world, and even 99% of Grace and Truth ministries, are celestial idiots. They don't have any idea. Even Brother Jim is a celestial idiot. And I would challenge Brother Jim like he could challenge me to the gospel and probably make me, well, I don't know. I don't think Brother Jim will have any issues with the gospel, just probably my cursing. Other than that, because I don't add. The gospel can't be changed. It cannot be changed. You add a jot. Oh, I've been there before. I've been a demon. I've made up my own Jesus. I made up my own versions of the gospel. No more doing that. Sup with your lexicon, sup with your concordance, and use these study tools like Brother Jim teaches you again, that, I was still not using and lacking, like studying these maps and cultures and customs. There's a lot more than just studying the words that are in that book. There's each one of these words is a verb, a noun, an adjective. Nobody does it like Jim Brown. So if you need to learn something, you probably need to unlearn first. You've probably been taught the wrong way, and you need to go back and unlearn and relearn. And it's a whole lot easier when you kind of clean your slate out and you refine that. And that's what, like I said, that's what Brother Jim does, that nobody else, these people speak out of unclean versions. There's only one canonized version, and there's hundreds, thousands of versions in everybody. Like I said, most people go to hell, so they don't even know the gospel. Many are called, but few are chosen. That's the word oligos. So wake up every day and tell yourself, everybody's evil. Everybody. I might only met a couple people in my life that are actually going to the wedding feast of the Lambs. Might you start to understand how this book is written? Then you might start to understand the gospel. This Sex Pistol cracker Jesus nonsense, this easy sit down on your ass one day, fun day, Sunday Jesus, that's not Christ. Christ is tribulation, not peace. That's antichrist. They warn of this. Anybody who talks about peace and safety, sudden destruction, peace, that's a false teacher, the Scorpizzo. That's exactly what these people want to bring people away from. All you got to do is believe. Believe is not a thought in your head, and that's what all these religions do. They're all vain. I don't think there's even one good religion. Pretty soon I believe that all these Christian faiths are going to get eaten by these robots, that they've got placeboed effect to them because they believe in some cracker, Sex Pistol, Satan, Jesus with breasts, beast, man and woman. Baphomet on December 25th. The whole world does it. the 2025 Jesus, okay? How about that? There it is. If you think it's 2025, you probably think that there's such a thing as a planet, and you don't understand the firmament, and you think you're spinning on a ball. All this is just same thing as Rome. They did the same thing. That's exactly why remember, learn not the ways of the heathens, and be not dismayed at the signs of the firmament. People should have they should never even say anything about scripture, especially when it comes to the celestial firmament, like where they know where the heavens and that's heavens aren't above your head. They should never talk about something in scripture unless they actually sit down and read the scripture. So most people don't. They broker their salvation out to some dude on YouTube or TikTok or some blog that they saw, or even some man in a church. He said that that's why these hands are tattooed, because I'm not under some covenant of flesh. I can tattoo my body all I want. It's what comes out of a man. It might be my cursing. The Most High does not dwell in temples made by hands. So, nope, there's not one good church. They're all vain. Brother Jim has a classroom. I have a whiteboard. Apologize, it's backwards. Just got a bum. Wanted to help you teach the Brother Jim lesson right here. Oh, is that backwards or is that forward? Why does that look correct? That looks right. I held that up earlier and that was backwards. How is that proper this time? What? That's where I just hold that up earlier and that was backwards. How's that possible? Does that look the right way on your screen? Is that the right way? This is Brother Jim's teaching right here. The horn of plenty. Oh, maybe it was. Darn it. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh. I'd have to take it and turn it around. It's because my camera, you know what I'm saying? It's because when I lift my camera up and spin my camera, if I went like it. Hey. Who shall ever come after me? Let them deny themselves daily, take up your cross daily, and follow after me. So, this is Brother Jim Brown teaching. You can go see the same teaching. Brother Jim Brown teaches it often. So, well, not all the time, but same thing. Many are called, but few are chosen. Broad is the way that leads to the wide gate, because you're a broad way. You're not willing to narrow. Remember, narrow. I keep teaching you all this. Narrow is the way. Narrow that leads to the straight gate. You got to be pinched, theolobo, to be pushed from both sides. The verb, theolobos. If you want Christ to grow inside you, you have to deny yourself. That is backwards. What the hell? How's that like that? Now, that was... Yes, narrow means hados, or thalipsis, tribulation. Same thing, hados, like a refiner's fire. It's a press. It's a press, like a heat press, or a press like a wine press. We get to put through the wine press. See, that's why it's good over there and go study with Brother Jim Brown, because he'll help you. He'll give you every word he'll give you in the Greek or the Hebrew. Like, for example, theolobo. Theolobo means to be pushed from both sides. That's what's happening here. See, they're not willing to narrow self. Hold on, I got this one there. See, notice these two lines. Broad is the way. See the distance between these two lines? Broad is the way that leads to hell, because they're not willing to narrow. You have to narrow. See, there's no narrowing. There's no narrow. See, narrow, to be pushed on both sides, pushed down, pinched through this long process. This is a time. Deny yourself daily. See, when you start, you're a baby believer. This is you. You start over here. This is I know it's backwards. I apologize. I know it's backwards. Just run with it, okay? How is that upside down? There we go. So, okay, my bad. Like, what the heck is going on? This is you. You put your name in here. Whatever your name is, you put your word here, your big name, and Christ is a baby. You're a baby believer. Okay, you're a baby believer. You see how small you are there in Christ. You're just little Christ in you. Brother Jim teaches this the same way as Paul talks about that we have an inner man and we have an outer man, like the layers of onion, like Shrek, right? We have an inner man, and that Christ is inside us, and he's just a little Christ, little c. But we circumcision of the flesh. This is Paul was talking about. But it's like from the inside out, like Noah was told to baptize the ark from inside and out. When we baptize inside and out, and then Christ keeps growing. Every time keeps growing inside us, and this outer man gets thinner and thinner and thinner. See this line here? Brother Jim is like in his 80s. So he's just got this little thin skin. I mean, he don't want to party. He don't want to do nothing, but he's even watching football. And he's still reading the word, right? He's not really into the football. He's kind of probably more background noise. I bet he really doesn't even pay any attention. But when you get Brother Jim's age, because it's a process, notice how thin this layer of Brother Jim's thin, because like I say, he don't want to do nothing anymore. Boy, you could take Brother Jim's and pop that skin with like a needle, and because it's thin, he don't want nothing to do with the world anymore. See how, look at that little thin layer of skin. The circumcision of Christ is inside us. So the more we deny self, the more Christ grows inside of us. He starts out small like this inside, and we circumcise those more and more, and he grows to where he's larger and larger and larger till there's more Christ than self. More Christ than self. See? He's inside of us, brothers, sisters. That's why we circumcise our heart. Our hearts are filled with wickedness. And that's why I always leads you to the passage of the Lord's Prayer, taking up your daily bread, Matthew, your daily cross, Luke carrying your cross, disciples daily, Matthew daily. This is something that he does to us. The heart is continuously filled. It'd be like a cup. Remember, he said there's a cup. And he said, like, you ever heard the term half full? It's like half full and half empty. You ever heard that term? Half full, half empty, right? Of a cup. See, it says the heart is continuously, come on, screen, stay with me, work with me here. Why is it doing that? The heart is continuously filled, which means it would never stop overflowing. It would never stop overflowing. It's continuously filling with wickedness. So when you take up your cross daily, deny yourself daily, this is what's pulling this back. Otherwise, it would just keep overflowing. Don't you understand? I don't hear that half full, half empty nonsense. The heart is continuously overflowing with wickedness. So I keep telling you to take up your cross daily, deny yourself daily, daily bread, sup not with vipers, only with those daily. This is pushing this cup back so it won't fill up, brothers and sisters. If not, it's going to fill up. And if you just go right back to yourself, it's just going to keep filling up. That's why you've got to take up your cross. You can never set that cross down, ever. Not until you die. That's why to be saved, you have to endure to the very last breath, be called out your name at the wedding feast of the lambs, and then you are saved. Sozo, carried, picked up, lifted from the beginning point to be saved. This is the Greek word saved. S-O-Z-O, sozo, is the Greek word saved. That's salvation. In order to be saved, you have to endure to the end. You'd be picked up from beginning point to an ending point and then healed. He saves us at the wedding feast of the lambs because we're already bought and paid for. Purchased, possession. I also did foreknow who I did predestine to conform to the image of Christ. Prognosko, I had foreknowledge of. I will save them. I will call them out at their names at the wedding feast of the lambs. And if you spend this treasure, or you leave your treasure before swine, you're not going to have any treasure at the end. So that's to be healed. It's to be picked up from beginning point and to an ending point. So in order to be saved, we have to die. So nobody's been saved. There's no such thing as being saved. Only till the seventh shofar, the last trump, At the wedding feast of the lambs will he call out where he already bought and paid. It means many are called, but few are chosen. You're already bought and paid for. Imagine that. So broad. Notice all these big cities. That broad is the way that leads to hell, because they're not willing to deny themselves to enter through that straight gate. Straight is the gate. Straight is the gate. Broad is the way that leads to hell, through the wide gate. Most people go to hell. Very few, oligos are chosen. Many are called, but very few are chosen who will have their name called out in that book of life, because they're in the broad way. Broadway, they're not narrowing self. Father is doing that in them. D Lobo, to be pushed from both sides. The world hates you. Your friends hate you. You won't celebrate. You won't do any of these things in the world. What's wrong with you? What do you mean we can't celebrate anything? What do you mean it's all fulfilled? I love to celebrate. I love to I know I'm just going to keep my job and I'm going to go ahead and bring this, Christmas gift because I'm afraid that I might lose my job. No, see, you're not willing to deny it. He said they hated me before they hated you, right? Yeah, and to be loved by the world, he said, you be hated by my Father. So you're not here to be loved by the world. If that's the word agape, that you phileo this dirt. You phileo this dirt, brothers and sisters, and Father doesn't want us to love the eyes, idolatry. What you see, idolatry, things of the dirt, anything you see, your wife, your dog, your car, everything behind me and everything in front of you came from the dirt. It's going to go right back to the dirt, right where it back came from. Father doesn't want you to love the dirt, and he wants you to love the word. Father is the word. Hokadesh. Cool. There you go. Go see Brother Jim. To think there are grown people believing this ridiculous nonsense. Thank you for making ABC an ass. You're giving him a deaf ear, making him retarded, like screwed, like every woman I ever got on her back. ABC, 1, 2, 3. It's easy as do, re, mi. Why don't you go ahead and moonwalk out of here there, Michael? Hey, whatever. I'm bad. Doom, 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 doom. Oh, sorry. Ice, baby. All right. Put him on ice. In fact, it's cold as hell. Rocket. Come on, biggie, 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 biggie. What you see out there? Hold on. Hey, guys, I have to go put up my ladies. Hold on. I'm out here at the farm. I got chicken duty here that I'm running a little late on. They'll be all right. Give me a minute. Uno momento, por favor. We got chicken duties. So this would be a good time to subscribe to this channel or go over to subscribe to Grace and Truth Ministries. You want some more of this aletheia? That's the word truth. You can't handle the truth. So you don't want it. Most people don't want it. They want the phileo, like they like the wife's rack and the rack on their truck or whatever. You treat your women's titties like wheels, son. The ones that were too small, you went and got bigger ones. time for dinner, boys. Gonna make some dinner in a little bit. Make some dinner. All right, we got the ladies put up there. So, all right, go, yeah. Only gospel. Gospel over everything. Christ over $. So, definitely, you know, the thalipsis is the gospel. Thalipsis is suffering. Peace is antichrist. Peace is those who say peace and safety. He said, "Do not think I came to peace, like to bring a sword of division." You know what I'm saying, yep, there we go. The other Jesus, right? God only. He said, if I didn't call out to the hearts to seek for me, not one of them would. Yep. Walk around every day and tell yourself, love everybody. He hated Esau. He didn't love the Gentiles. He only loves his bride, and very few have their name called out in the wedding feast of the lambs. Hallelujah. So most people go to hell. God don't love everybody. He hated Esau. Remember, he killed his brother, right? Nimrod, and stole his inheritance, Moloch. The one Donald Trump has his house decorated with, Satan, Jesus Christ. The one birthed on December 25th, the middle of the winter, Jesus Christ. There's no J's in the text. All these people are adding to the text. He says, don't add to the text. Nope, they don't want no aletheia. They don't want no truth. They don't want to define any words. They want to believe some other Jesus. If you know somebody goes to a church, they're a Satanist. Somebody calls themselves a Catholic, that's Satanism. A Christian, they follow the communion, you know, the whole crackers, they're Satanists. Baptist Satanists, Mormon Satanists. There's no such thing as prophecy. Satan means adversary. You can't even add a jot. Jot. What the word jot means, you don't know Christ. You don't know Christ. How are you going to have your name called out at the wedding feast of the lambs if you pay taxes to the W-2 tax dollar corporation America? And you think you're going to have your name called out at the wedding feast of the lambs? Yeah, I don't think so. Standing up to this corporation, yeah, used to be a constitutional republic. You don't know halakha. You don't know Haggadah. You don't know Christ. You don't know Jesus. You don't know diddly. You know diddly. You know phileo is what you know. You know some other Jesus, some other gospel. Yeah, this is 99% of these people on this rock are going to hell because they don't define any words that are in the interlinear Texas Receptus. They don't sit and sup. Remember, knocking, I will sup tables of their hearts. Don't sup with vipers. That's why we throw them out of here. All these cracker Jesus worshipers, people that do this celebration. If you know anybody who celebrates, they're a Satanist. We're not to celebrate even a single day under this covenant. He fulfilled all the celebrations, all the fees, right? He paid the bride price, did he not? By hanging himself to a tree. You want to know if somebody's a Satanist? Ask them if Christ was hung on a cross. They'll tell you yes. That's a Satanist right there. They've never studied any kind of torture, maybe waterboarding. Maybe some ICE agents will come pick them up and waterboard them. Oh, wait, can't water. Maybe they'll use alcohol. They'll booze board them, some wine, pour some wine over them, board them. Because, maybe the robots will do that to them too, huh? Got a pretty good sneaking suspicion that anybody calls himself religious or I believe Jesus is going to get picked up by this future tense, 923 ritual that I keep telling you about in here. So they're doing it. The seventh king will be revealed as the eighth king. The seventh king of Revelation is locked in the pit. Yeah, that's halakha. It's called the Talmud or their Targum or their Mishnah. They made their own. They went away from the Torah. Remember, after 40 years of not going, remember, they didn't go into the wilderness and scout out the giants, not big feet, not aliens. Such thing as alien. Alien is a word. There's no such thing as planet. There's no such thing as devil. There's no such thing as Lucifer. There's no such thing as being saved. There's no such thing as free will. There's no such thing as luck. There's no such thing as chance. Gosh, I could just go on and on. These people just love to add. That's what the halakha was. So that's what the corporation America is. America is the halakha. America was at one time a constitutional republic. So if you don't stand up to the corporation America, I about 99.9999999% sure you're not going to have your name called out at the wedding feast of the lambs, because I'm judging you with righteous judgment. Remember, they hated him and threw him in prison. Do you have any charges for standing up to America? Because America's the beast with 50, plus years of going out, and with 1,000+ military. But that's like all, 180 countries destroying everybody like the money changers. You're just some watered down religious idiot. And I rebuke you. You're not going to have your name called out in that book. You have to stand up. They killed him. Does the corporation want to kill you right now, especially with what's going on? This is past left or right, Democrat or Republican at this point. Seriously, do you have any current charges for standing up to this? So you can take this as you will. Your will, self-will. You're not doing what Christ did. He said, image in Paul's writings. Matthew and Luke, he said, follow after. And we got to do what he did. And they all died a martyr's death. So I'm not saying you have to physically die a death, but you have to stand up. And if something happens to your body, that's why he covers you for the sins of the world, not your covetousness, head, and your adulterous heart, and you're lying and cheating. You think that's what the sins of the world are? No, that's for standing up to the law like he did, and the church. He stood up to the church and the law, and they hated him, and they hung him, and they whipped him. Does anybody want to shove, not these little thistle type, I'm not talking TV, I'm talking thorns so deep they went into his skull. They want to pierce your skull. Does anybody want to put holes in you? Then you're not Christ-like, so you know. That's the gospel, baby. That's the real gospel. Narrow is the way. Hados, deny yourself daily. Take up your cross daily. Do what I did and follow after me daily. My disciples take up your cross. He suffered. The cross is crucifixion, to be crucified for the sins of the world, for standing up to America, the corporation, that strangulation, Cobra Nation, strangling everybody for 50+ years. 50+ years. Why these people lap up all their stand on the necks, go inside and flap in the curve, huh? Abomination, corporation, bunch of slaves, merchandise, staked, right, to the stock exchange, just like they staked or nailed Christ to a stake, to a yoke or a stock. Merchandise these people, and they just love going to work and paying their Megadeth dollars to the corporation. And when Father calls their name out, it ain't gonna be in the wedding feast of the Lamb. It's gonna be in the book of judgments, because they're murderous. They're murderous, murder dollars that they paid for when they punched their 9-to-5 W-2 tax clock dollar. Remember, he whipped the people for selling the doves. You work in a jail, good for you. You work in a slave cage, just great. And you talking about drugs. You know who brings all the drugs into the jail? You dumb motherfucker, you jailers. I know, I worked in a federal jail as well. I'm a prior cop, you fucking idiot. Don't do drugs, you dumb buck. Quit pushing drugs on people like you push them in, you bring them into the goddamn jails. See? I'm right. The number one drug dealer is the damn governments. I know. I was a military police in the Army as well. So ho, 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 what do you know? Might want to think about what you're saying there before you open up your mouth. You're a prison guard. Pretty soon they're gonna call you out on the streets. You go get a job kidnapping people. You know, there's more people locked up in America than there is all the other countries combined. What a sick nation this is, huh? Yeah, 3% of the population. This is the most unsafe place to be on this rock. Oh yeah, I know you got a better chance to go into jail. They got their Gestapo thugs. You know what I'm saying? Okay, whatever. Get the fuck out of here. You're an ate-up soldier. I guarantee you ain't no soldier. I make soldiers like you come in here every day and show you how ate up. What's your first general order? Tell me your first general order. Come on there, soldier. You're into your tour of service, right? Your tour of service donate. Come on. ETS, Echo Tango Sierra. Come on. Your DD-214. Speak up, soldier. I know your semen samples. You're full of it. I can tell. Some have been stuffing you in that boat. You got stuff, your Brokeback Mountain. I know, man, chowder. You got that stuff coming all over the place. I can tell. Anal syrup, all that. Bring them in the rear. Forecast up off the port bow. Get out of here, semen samples. You ain't no soldier. You're 8 the fuck up. You are. Oh, wait, you're 16 up. You're twice as 8 up as any of these other soldiers that come in here. You ain't no soldier. I asked you what your first general order is. You couldn't even answer it. Oh, as a military police, I had to have the highest in the military to score as a military police. You are so fucking stupid. You don't know anything about my military skill identifier, do you? MOS. Mike Oscar Sierra. You have to be an MP. You have to have the highest score. You're a fucking idiot, dude. Look at you. Stepping on your dick. No, you don't know what you're talking about. See, what's your first general order, soldier? What is your first general order? What is your first general order? You ain't no soldier. You see, you are 8 up. You don't even know the first general order that you took. You can't even remember shit. So tell me what it is or get out of here, you prideful veteran, you sick, twisted fuck. You are the disgust of this world. Nothing worse than an Army fucking veteran, a Navy veteran. I know, my uncle's Navy, retired. You don't even know who the fuck you're talking to. You're an 8 up piece of shit that served the beast system and you do not care. Yeah, you're semen samples. You're full of semen. I know you got stuffed by you guys in your bunkies. I know. I have an uncle who's Navy. They told me all the stories about what you guys do. You're sick. You're sick. And you're sick because you don't care about the system that you served. You're in here and you're not a soldier. You're a prideful soldier is what you are. Don't tell me to get some help. No. See, you won't even answer what your first general order is. Everybody's in here witnessing you there, JB Weld. You ain't even the real deal. You're some fucking plastic man. Look at JB. I'm a plastic man. You know me. I'm a young OG. I'm a plastic man. You ain't even the real deal. I'm a classic man, bitch. I'll weld you on both sides and fucking weld your steel door shut. Yeah, I will. Answer my question there, soldier. What was your first about face? Get out of my ass. All I want to see is fucking elbows and assholes, soldier. You ain't no soldier. Yeah, you already been spun around, wouldn't you? You been locked up, huh? Attention. Oh. You just standing there. So what is your first general order? Brothers, sisters, these people, this is stolen valor right here. Stolen valor. Stolen valor right here. Can't even answer what his first general order is. First general order. They all take this. He's a sailor. So he's not a soldier. Listen to this shit, brothers, sisters. Listen to this. What is your first general order you take is all under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Everybody. Doesn't matter which branch. Dude, get the fuck out of here, dude. And now I'm your bro. You know what? You are the sick, twisted fuck. These are the kinds of people, the sisters, they hire to do these dumbass fucking jobs. They can't even answer the first general order that he took. We all take it. We all take the same war. It's under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. All branches are. This person is stolen valor. He does not even know his first general order that he took when he joined the military. We all take it. And this is stolen valor. He doesn't even know what the hell he's talking about. He might have served. I served next to soldiers that, sailors, whatever the fuck. I was in the military. We military police serve with all militaries. First one into battle, last one to leave. So this person doesn't know their ass from a hole in the ground. They are a stolen valor and a prideful, too. Doesn't want to even answer any questions. This is a thug. That's why they hire people in the Navy to stick them in a fucking boat because they're just, we talk about an ASVAB score. That's this guy probably scored a low end of the totem pole here. He can't even answer one question. Not even one question. This is kind of, a lot of soldiers are like this, right? Sailors, Marines, they get prideful and they just, I served, I'm fucking, yeah. But they don't even remember what the fuck they did. They don't even know when they're in there. They just get ass raped in a tube, I guess, huh? Oh, you're a little worried about me. How come you won't answer anything that I am asking you? Everybody's watching you. What is your first general order? You are what is called a prideful piece of shit veteran. Either way, if you served, I think you're stealing valor because you can't even answer a simple question. So you're obviously late. You said about my ASVAB score and you want me to get help. You can't even answer a simple fucking question. So I do think that you are probably somebody faking as some semen samples and you're just full of it. I don't know which, guy got you locked up in a bunk and what the hell you guys did, but that's wronger than two little boys fucking in a closet. Now you can leave now. because you are the epitome of why I hate fucking veterans so much. Because you don't talk about what the fuck we do. We're not even supposed to have one single military veteran outside our border. So every Navy ship outside our border is an abomination. The whole fucking Navy is abomination. We could have National Guard, but we're not even supposed to have a Coast Guard. So fuck you, you prideful piece of shit. You don't understand this covenant, and that's why I'm making an example out of you. You couldn't even answer a simple question, and everybody in here is watching you. You probably get gloated on every time you say you're a soldier, and people just grovel at your dumbass pride ass, huh? You do not understand this new covenant. We're not supposed to even have a Navy, right? Maybe in Lake Michigan, right? We can have the Navy in Lake Michigan, right? But we can't have any Navy. You're an idiot. Get out of here. Get away from me. You're a piece of shit. You don't even care about the word of Father. You don't even know this new covenant. So it's time for you to go. Thanks for your time. Don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you. Okay. Dude, you're an idiot. I don't care what the fuck you say. You are a prideful veteran. Okay. You're a veteran, right? You're a veteran. Yes or no? Yes or no? They're a veteran. Look at this, guys. Splitting hairs. Doesn't want to talk about all the apostate thing, what he has done. At least I admit that I was wrong for joining the military and, doing something that I never should have done. I was 17. I joined the Army's delayed entry program and scored some of the highest at 17 years old. So, okay, JB, guess what? Are you a veteran? Yes or not? Answer my question. You can't answer any question, so you're just rattle on and on and on. Okay, you're just stroking yourself. And normally I just get you an arrow, but it's like making an example of how fucking ate up you are. Are you a veteran? Yes or no? So you are a piece of fucking shit that served this beast system. And if you knew the covenant under this New Testament, we're not supposed to have any military outside our borders. Remember, George Washington said no foreign entanglements. So they surely wouldn't let me be a pastor, would they, back in the, well, I would be a pastor, obviously, in the military, but, but they wouldn't let me back in the military because they tell everybody you're not supposed to be outside the borders of our own country. So you don't know anything that you're talking about. Okay. Please leave now. I'll say it to you nicely. You're a fucking piece of shit. You know that. You don't even care about what the fucking people you're killing outside of your own fucking borders. You're a sick, twisted individual, and you have no understanding of this new covenant. Thanks for your time. I'm going to moderate you now. You can just go ahead and admit that you served a B system. It doesn't matter which branch of the military. You couldn't even answer a simple question in here. Simple question, okay? And so you are the epitome of what's wrong with this fucking country. So you know that. That's why every country fucking hates this country so much, because people like you and people like me. And at least I did wrong. So do you see how this person even asked? How many times did I ask them their first general order? They don't remember what the hell all they do is they tell somebody they're a veteran or something, and they mention it, and they get groveled at. Oh, thank you for serving. Brothers and sisters, listen to what I'm telling you. We are not to have one single veteran under this new covenant outside our border. I didn't know that. I had no idea when I joined the military that was this covenant. How many people join the military you think know that? I'm a Christian. You're not supposed to be outside our own borders. You want to serve the National Guard? I was active duty. We're not supposed to go outside our own borders under this covenant. No foreign entanglements. The original writer of the Constitution, they knew that. So. No one in his Air Force could tell you the first general order. Oh, okay. It's do not quit your post until properly relieved. That's your first general order you take. That's why I'm not going to stop. I'm always going to smash any veteran that comes in here because they're prideful and they don't have any idea what they're talking about. And most of them are just a bunch of legs like that guy. They hire a bunch of people in the military that can't even use their fucking heads. I don't know how they even operate sometimes. We do not have a good military. We have lost every fucking war since Vietnam, brothers and sisters. We haven't won any wars. We pulled out Afghanistan, didn't win Iraq. Look, we haven't won a war. We are not this badass like people think we are. Vietnam, we lost. World War II. So the new covenant is in the New Testament. It's all this New Testament. It's the 13 canonized books that were canonized in the 12th century. So it's called a National Guard. You can guard your borders. Father said somebody come in and try to rape your daughter or your child or your wife, or you can protect your borders under this new covenant. Absolutely. But God used to require war. You could go outside your borders, eye for an eye. Somebody came in and killed your brother. You could sneak into his house at night and kill his brother. It's not, let vengeance be mine, saith the Lord. That's the new covenant. Let vengeance be mine. So we're not to have. Father used to require war. He had his heavens. Israel, remember, no nation come against that nation, no earthly army. Remember that 120,000 man earthly army got annihilated by that 7,000 man heavenly army. Heavens were the ruling class, not above your head. Heavens was his pride. Remember Aaron and Levite, he didn't love the Gentiles. No, he didn't. They weren't under the law, not under the Torah. So Father used to require, shut the fuck up, God. Get out of here, you dumb fuck illegal. You're a fucking piece of shit. It's not about illegals anymore. It's about you poor ass motherfuckers like you that don't even have any money to put in where your money where your mouth is. Get out of here, God. You're a piece of shit. I remember in here last time. Fuck you. What was that? What Christ would do? Throw somebody out of the country, been here for 20 years because they don't have a piece of paper? You're an inhumane piece of shit. Seriously, these people just totally lost this covenant of what Christ is. Be charitable. How is that we're going to sit there and just throw somebody out? What if they've never actually committed? Do you know that you have rights under the Constitution without having citizenship in this country, just by being in between these two fucking borders? People don't know the rights. So this dumbass has been here before, and he comes in here and says the same shit every time. So people are really into this whole throwing people out of here, and they forget that the government brought all these migrants in here for 20 plus years, 30 years. Okay, I grew up right there on the border. Most people came across these borders and never did a single fucking crime for 20 or 30 years. Came here because we extorted their countries with central banks, inflated their currency, stole all the resources, and our dollars were more. So they send our dollar back home to their dollar, and it pays to take care of the whole family. Smart ass people, very smart, come here and pay taxes the minute they cross the border. Get a phone, pay taxes, go get a car, pay taxes, go get a house, pay taxes, go into work, you pay tax. They pay Social Security. Most of them came here assimilated just fine. But the government was shipping people in here for this last 2-3 administrations and paying people to come here, giving them an entitlement generation, paying them. Literally, I put video after video out. It's like this bullshit that's going on right now with Trump sending the military to Portland. There's nothing going on in Portland right now. There's nothing going on in Portland. Go watch the boots on the ground. Go look at all those people blogging all over Portland right now, because they're showing you there's nothing going on. So they do all this shit. They create all this. They create all this, brought all these people, and they're emptied those Venezuelan prisons and brought these Trendalawa into this country. They brought these people here. They did this before. They did this during the Carter administration. This ain't their first rodeo time to do this. So they brought all these people in there so they can create a national emergency to kick everybody out. No, they did that so they can declare a national emergency in all states, because this is the melting pot. How are you going to figure out who's who in this country? In Russia, they look Russian, right? In Asia, they look, Asian. Chinese look, in the desert, they look Arab or Persian, right? And, how are you going to tell in America who's who? This is the melting pot. So now you don't know who's who. So who's normal and what's normal? Well, I don't think you're normal. So you need to get in this van right now. And we're going to ship you out into the ocean, drop you off, and you can wash up on shore in Spain in handcuffs and shackles because you're too poor people, not migrants anymore, too poor, or something's wrong with you. How many people you come in here think that I need to be locked the fuck up? A lot of people. So they would have me shipped out of here too. See, I got to stand up, because pretty soon they're going to come for you. Remember, I told you on this channel they would come for American people and lock them up, because this is part of this World War II rebranding and of the World War III ritual. World War II equals World War III. We're doing everything they did during World War II, and they're redoing it again, because the seventh king that's locked in the pit of Revelation is being revealed as the eighth king. It's the same person that's locked in the abyss. Well, so, and it's being revealed right now as we speak. I've showed you on this channel. There's no other ministry doing this. Brother Jim is not doing this. This is the only place anywhere. Have you ever seen anywhere? You guys, I'm sure you go to other channels. This ain't the only other channel it's not the only platform. You ever seen anybody do this 923? This work camp ritual 11004, the 44th administration. He was a homosexual and had a man shell wife. 3 steel buildings with 2 airplanes. He dropped so he can go over to the 7, Iran being the last one over there. All these oil wars. Well, we didn't need to fight any oil wars. There shouldn't be even one oil death. We have structure, megalithic, sound, frequency wave, millimeter wave technology, perpetual polarity, perpetual magnetics, anti-pneumatics, gravitics. We need a plan on how the poors, are you saying poors? Well, how about the fucking government stop having more millionaires in Congress and spending all our goddamn money? They're printing $1 trillion every 100 days right now. This is unsustainable. The debt can't be paid back at 33. They got a $1 trillion military budget. That's more than all the nations combined. It's the goddamn governments of the people making people poor. Absolutely. Should be gold and silver and we wouldn't have a fucking problem now, would we? Lock up Donald Trump. He fucking, it should be gold and silver. Return us to a gold standard and return it to a constitutional republic, or lock them all the fuck up. Since the 1800s, that was changed back in the 1800s to a corporation. Halakha Haggadah, brothers and sisters, you better be standing up to this corporation or you're not Christ-like. You do not have any idea who Christ is, and he stood up to the law because they had perverted the law. They made their big boy club and religion. So you're not Christ-like. You don't stand up. I remember I told you don't need to use violence, passive resistance. Nobody can say I've been violent. Bullshit. So, man, I got a splinter in my thing. Hold on. So, I know that sounds not like with anything you've ever heard, but I don't know any other ministry that's doing this either. And I don't care what happens to me. They can do whatever the hell they want to me. They already killed my son and daughter, right? I mean, I hope they're alive, but I don't have any evidence to support that right now. None. I really don't. I have a substantial amount of support that they did. And I've been sending it for decades anyway, so I'm not going to start doing something I haven't already been doing for 12 years on this channel, so don't worry, I'm not changing up my game here. We're going to get something to eat. I gotta get something in my belly. I'm trying to figure out what I wanted to eat. I was thinking about having some chili and eggs. I don't know why, but it sounded pretty good. I don't know. Hold on, let me think here for a minute. What I'm going to have for dinner. And I was really hoping to get that roof on that garden today, but I couldn't seem to get the wind to stop blowing. I can't control the wind, but every time I was put up all the blocking and stuff on all the trusses up there on the lid. And then as soon as I was ready, I got all the blocking. I'm like, oh, cool. No wind. As soon as I get ready over there, I'm going to go over there, get the roofing up and pull the roofing out. It did it to me the other day and starts blowing. I'm like, no way, man. Because I thought it was a super still morning. All right, I'm going to get this done today. I've just been doing so many other things out here because I'm super busy, right? I got building 3 cabins and an underground 2 shelters and still have farming and running the ministry off grid and animals. So, but I thought I had, and building the underground garden too. Well, that one popped out of nowhere, but it's going to be done here in the next day or two. So, but I'm telling you, as soon as I got down, I walked over and I'm like, when I felt that like almost blow up my back, I'm like, no way. And I look behind me and I start, because I have some scatter netting, and a wave, you know what I'm saying? If there's a little bit of, and it wasn't wave. I kept looking at it all morning. Okay, all right, I got this. As soon as I walked over there and reached over to grab the thing, man, I felt like the wind hit my back. And I looked at that thing, and that thing started all day. It blew, guys. I'm like, dude, as soon as I got that, and it did that the other day when I came down off the ladder and I got ready to say, okay, I'm going to do this. And I'm glad that I did put it up then, because I needed to do the blocking anyways. But then the wind came, and I started doing something else. So, man, I just don't have the best timing. Father's timing just crushes me all the time. He likes to crush me. He laughs at me all the time. He's like, don't make any plans. I'll crush them for you. So I'll get it done. I get that roofing because on that, and then a couple pieces of metal flashing for that, and probably 2 or 3 more pieces of trim, and that building's going to be done. And I'm glad, because it turned out super nice. And I do think I should be able to sustain a garden in there all summer long or all winter long. So I've already germinating some more seeds. I got some melon seeds, some other vegetable seeds. I got potatoes, kind of getting in the dark, getting ready to try to put the eyes on them. Grow some more peppers and things like that. So looking forward to that. Having that garden is a super nice addition to this ministry. You know what I'm saying? Um, Super nice. And those cooler doors are super neat, because they kind of got that vacuum, like, they shut. I don't know why the one side's not. I'm gonna actually shut that side up anyways. I don't really use that side. um, uh, I'm gonna just put they're just barely coming out a little bit, but the other one's just shut super nice. I mean, they have that. If you ever walked into a nice cooler, you know how they got into that, shoot, they shut, and so they do that. And I was like, so it's made the perfect outdoor garden. So it's not super huge, but it should food hopefully to grow for you know um, vegetables. So it keeps growing anything during the winter. If it grows any food, hell yeah. And then I installed that fireplace into the wall. The whole thing is, I couldn't find anything online to do it. I'm like, there's got to be somebody who's done this before. And it could just be because they're smashing my search engine and not, but I couldn't find any place that had that fireplace, inserted into the wall. And it's going to work good, because I do believe that the way I put that it's the halfway in. It's sitting outside of the wall, built into the wall, and then the inside of the fireplace I've built and blocked that all in. So that's actually not, it's in there, but it's blocked off. So it will just heat up, not like a direct radiant heat. It's going to have to heat up all that rock, and then that rock will radiate the heat off after the fire burns out and let it. So that was the idea. I'm a weirdo. I do weird things, but I think it's going to work. I think you light a fire in there, and get it roast in there. It'll heat up all that rock in there, and that there's probably only like a 2 or 3 hour window normally in this valley where it's cold for a little bit. We don't have a lot of cold days like that, and it normally gets warmer during the day enough to be above freezing. So inside of that, sealed, and then if it got a little freezing, you could light a fire early if you knew that, if you're a farmer, you have to plan ahead. You watch the weather. You have to watch the weather as a farmer, and it's coming. You light a fire in there, get up, whatever, and get it going. And oh yeah, it's the way. It's a big, what it is. It's one of those metal kind of like an onion type fireplace. It's not, I wanted to put another one in there, but this one works good. I mean, it's going to work good because it's got a big flue on it, a nice big flue. And then I have a big, I think it's 8-inch pipe that comes up, and it just kind of comes off and tilts out. So it'd be real easy to, it shouldn't sit up, too much anyways, but it should be super easy to clean. The top come off, and, I'd probably burn. I'm not going to burn that many fires in it. But I thought about that in mind, make sure I don't have, because I didn't put an actual flue in there. That's something I might need to install. And I might even install it at the top, because I can't install it at the bottom. But yeah, it turned out good though. It's really nice, and I'm actually starting to work on it. I've already put some more work. I told you I want to do an outdoor garden, so I started building the wall off of that one side and over there. So I'm going to build that into beautiful. I'm going to do a pizza oven, an outdoor oven, so I cook bread and stuff outside during the summer and do things like that. I have a outdoor Camp Chef commercial style
it's a camp chef, and they use that in like commercial applications. It's a big, 4-burner camp chef, full cast iron grill, um, oven, pizza oven, um, barbecue. I'll install, a barbecue inset. I'll reset it, just make it cover it all. This be part of the whole outdoor kitchen. So I want to put an outdoor kitchen out here for us, so people come visit the ministry. They come out here and hang out. And the stars the last 2 nights, guys, they've been so freaking bright, and just, what I'm saying, so um, oh my gosh, there are just so many of them in these last couple of nights. But um, I want people to come out here and enjoy this area. It's a nice area back there, and it's by the garden. It's kind of back out behind here, so it's not up towards the cabin, so there's really no lights, and it's only um, yeah, no, it's unbelievable here. It truly is. It's the largest dark sky sanctuary in the world. You know, um, Let me show you where it's at, and then I better get something to eat here. I am getting hungry. See this dark spot right here? See this dark spot? This is where I'm at. See this dark spot? This is one of the darkest places in the whole world, brothers and sisters. You see that dark spot? That's where I'm at, in that darkest spot. I mean, you can even see it. There's nothing like it in this country. These are all the population. This is a satellite map of all the lights at night. See, all the cities. It's super dark out here. See how dark it is? It's pitch black. 2.5 million acres set apart, protected from light pollution in this dark sky sanctuary. You're more than welcome to come visit and hang out. Anybody's welcome to come here. I don't charge anybody in the ministry. I do hip camp, but anybody comes that's a part of this ministry is welcome to come out here. That's what they paid the ministry off to do it. It's here to serve the people. A ministry is supposed to serve the people. I obviously, as a pastor, I'll have a place to stay here, but this, I've donated the land to the ministry. This is not I don't consider it my land. I never bought it for me anyways. I bought it to build an underground geothermal living, not living below the ground, but learning to pull yourself down into the geothermal so that you can have not a heating or a cooling bill. I built a 50-foot storm shelter, it's nice at the front of it. I could live in the front. I don't know why I didn't do that when actually, if I busted my, I don't have the funds to probably do enough concrete, but if I did that, I could live in that all winter long and probably burn no firewood at all. It wouldn't be as warm as, what I'm saying, but I have a fireplace in there. I put a beautiful, a wood burner stove inside of the shelter. It's in there. It's all recessed in there. That thing is so beautiful. Hey, it fit in there like this far, man. I could barely slid it in there, and I didn't even measure it. I built it. I said, you know what? I know how big this fire thing is, and I'm going to get real close. I thought I have just a little room, man. I'm telling you, it just went, slid right in there. I was like, oh my Father, you are amazing. So, yeah, cool. Yeah, I don't actually have a physical address here at the ministry, but it's not too hard to find. I do hip camping. There's a big sign up on the end of the driveway where people can find it. So, yeah, if you're in the area, come down here. And people come out here and park, and they pay $50 a night just to come out here and poop in their own little, camper. But I'm setting up cabins out here. And if I leave out of the country too, that's why I want people to still be able to come here. If I'm going down to set up more, because I'm going to go set up another ministry down south eventually to grow food that I can't grow here. The whole idea behind Faith and Truth Ministries is to grow food eventually in this ministry. If we're here I'm guarantee if this ministry is still here, and it's been, we've been going for a few years here at, more than a few years, but I'm saying prior Predestined for Light. But we get down to South America, we're going to get another ministry down there, and we're going to grow so much food that we're going to send it all, like Brother Jim sends CDs. I want to be able to send food to the ministry, organic, papaya and guava and bananas and pineapple and avocados and star fruit and all this type of stuff that I can't grow here. But I can grow here because I can grow geothermally, but I just can't grow that type stuff up here. That's just not conducive. It's not the climate. So the whole idea is to get down there and get that other ministry set up so that I can, and then feed it back to this ministry as well up here, and try to cross, both the ministries. And then I don't know where to go from there. After that, I'm going on the road and I'm going to go travel and I'm done because I'm retired. But this is something I really want to do. I've spent 10 years plus here getting this ministry set up. And I don't have the bodies here right now, but I will eventually have the people here. I know will. Father will send the people. And again, the whole idea where in my eyes, I was hoping in the vision by paying this minister off and having it here and serve as a community from the beginning is that later that there'll be generations that will come here. Families will come here. Maybe I'll get another pastor out here and they'll have a family and they'll live here and their kids will grow up here and they'll plant a tree here that their kids will eat an apple out of and swing at. This is a generational thing. I'm hoping that this ministry will serve after I'm gone for generations. They'll grow up and here, and this will always serve. And then again, if I can get all the paperwork done, because I'm trying to get, I have so many things logistically going right now that I can do it all at one time. Like I said, they can never be taxed ever again, and it can't be taken no matter what. It will always be self-sufficient. There should be enough income stream from the revenue that I have set up between cabins and hip camp. People still be able to come here even when I'm gone, and it'll debit into the ministry's money through Venmo or whatever Cash App I have set up. And we can keep going out here, even when I'm not here, that people can come out and visit from the ministry and stay in the cabins. And then people who are not, and then come out here while I'm here and are not here. And I'm sure by then I'll have more people here. And there'll be people here. I'm hoping that there'll be 2 or 3 people who can be groundskeepers. And I really need a labor out here. I really wish I could have found somebody who wanted to kind of take this bull by the horns and help me, just be on my side, help me every day. But Kevin came out here, but he's over on his 20 and he's building his, and I don't want to bother him. He's creating his own masterpiece. His rock house over there is turning out great, man. He's doing such a good job for not having a whole bunch of experience. I kind of showed him and how I got set it up, how to level and do masonry. He never done it, but I got him going, got him set up. Okay, here's we go, do, and bam, he's just been off on his own doing all kinds. He set up a beautiful fireplace hearth. It is fripping gorgeous, man, with rock and walls and columns and shelves, and he's just doing a great job. And I was telling him basically build a waterfall like that in the corner over there, in a smaller version. He built a big old, so he's going to build a nice waterfall over in his corner of his house, guys. He's going to build a waterfall in his house, well, like that, and it's going to spill off. We already told him how to do it because he's got power up there and everything. And always have that sound of that water inside your house, just trickling down, and have a nice little, pond at the bottom, and that water will just keep splashing off. This whole house can be rock. And then I told him that we're going to, I'd help him paint the roof and make it look like the sky. I've done that. I did that in my daughter's, she's my son's, his sister. She wasn't my daughter, but I painted her ceiling like clouds, and his ceilings, it's kind of like hexagonal like this. And it's got texture on it, so I could really pull a lot of those clouds out of the different. And the texture's not super great on it. It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look. I've done texture before. It's just not. But that would make it the perfect cloud. So if you went up there and sponged all that in there, you could just make that look like clouds. So if all his walls were rock and tile, and God, he did such a nice job on that one. I told him he's got like. I hope he listens to me and continues to do what I said. He's got some areas where he's covered up that brick that he had on the wall, and the brick is still showing behind the rock. There's big pieces of brick. These were big, like pavers that he used, that we used and turned them into his flooring out of big pavers that you'd use out in your garden. We use them as tile. The big, thick tile, like that, thick tile. And so he put them up on the walls. I helped him put up the back place, the fireplace hearth. And he's got the rock going out, so there's like bricks sticking out of the rock, and it looks sexy, man. He's doing such a good job at it. Really happy he's taking it by the horns there and grabbing the bull and riding this thing, because some people get a little timid, and there's some areas that's not perfect. And I told him that looks good like that. Don't make it perfect, man. I like building stuff like this where I like to build things square. I'll build a square frame, portion, but things don't have to be perfect when you're building like this. It actually kind of looks good when it's just a little bit off, so it gives it a little bit more like it's been there a little bit. So he's just done such a good job at that, a really bang up job, and I'm super happy. But again, I'm hoping that before I leave out of here that there'll be a couple people here and they'll be able to join the ministry, and they'll live here. They won't have to worry about, rent or anything. It'll all be taken care of here. There should be water and power and food growing here, and you'll have to help grow the food and stuff, but it should be totally, you know, self-sufficient, and there should be able to, the people out here, if they wanted to build some more of these cabins like I'm building and rent those out for themselves, there's more than plenty of room out here to do that. There's just so much room to grow out here. 20 acres is a grip load of property. I had 40. That's why I had to sell 20 to Kevin. I can't have no damn 40 acres. I still have 45 acres. I had 65. You know what I'm saying? It's just too much. It's too much. That 40 acres is like 10 city blocks, brothers, sisters. When I used to walk to the corner of the property and look out how far, that's like 10 city blocks, man. That is a lot of property. I only ever thought I would ever, maybe at the most I would ever own was 5, so wow. But this ministry should serve for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years, generation. I'm hoping 100 years, 200 years, and I'm gone. And it's just, the original pastor who bought the property, bought it for the ministry, and it's just been serving ever since. It's tax exempt, and it just keeps serving and generating, and people can come here generation after generation. So I'm hoping it just doesn't sit here, whatever. I just spent 16 months and $150,000 for nothing. So, and I still got to come up with another $5,000 that I'm going to have to figure something out here, get something else sold out this property. I'll probably have to sell that flatbed. I was looking at it today going, you got to go bye-bye flatbed. I got to get this $5,000, this attorney, so I can be done doing all this legal thing. And then I'm going to go to town on this week coming up, and I'm going to go get that civil lawsuit started so that I get all that taken care of. Should have done that a long time ago. And then there'll be more money. I know what to do in the ministry out here. I'll have plenty of it. And then I'm going to be able to give a lot of money, hopefully, to Grace and Truth Ministry. So it should be a, there's Manishore. Sure. No, I don't mind people come up on the live stream. Absolutely. That's what I'm hoping to do, Cowboy John, is eventually go on the road and visit the ministry, and people who don't want to be filmed. I don't want to film anybody. I can, film without filming people. I've done media and art and all that. I have college and that type of stuff. I'm pretty good at doing media. I don't do nothing on here. I just toy around with a stupid 4G phone. But I created some pretty good channel content on a 4G phone, man. I had some of these, but the whole idea was to go to have to travel and to see the ministry and hang out with a couple of few days. And if they want to be filmed, to kind of say, hey, let's, this is such and such from the ministry, and I'm over at their place in Brazil, and we're going out to some, waterfall, and I'm going to be here for a couple of days. And some people are going to want to be filmed and some people aren't. So that's where I'm hoping to take this ministry in the future, where I'm retired and I just go travel on the road. We've got both functions. I'll still come and visit a lot and hang out and do projects and stuff, but I'd like to travel on the road and travel and meet all the people on the ministry and the people who want to be on camera. Not like that. That's like, cool. Hey, I'm part of the ministry. Hey, I'm visiting with Pastor Revelation, and he's out here and, over here in Nepal or whatever. And I'm hanging out, and, and we're coordinating between this should be an amazing thing. I'm hoping we can get past this burp with whatever is going on politically, and it's going to happen. And we'll be kind of separate of that, and they'll just roll right through this. In the next 3, 4, 5, 10 years, this ministry will be just an amazing place. It already is, as it sits right now. It's a wonderful online ministry. We do have a good group core people here. Not as many as obviously the 22, but there is a good following from TikTok that came over at the Predestined for Light channel, and we have 6 channels here on YouTube to go back and, collaborate content with here that I've done for 12 years. So, again, I bought this property, almost at the time that I, did YouTube, started doing YouTube, not long after, and so this is part of the ministry. YouTube is part of the ministry. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for YouTube, brothers and sisters. YouTube saved my life. You know that. I mean, literally the ability to live stream. I do believe I wouldn't be here anymore if it wasn't for YouTube. So good and bad in some ways, some ways it'd kind of be nice taking dirt nap for a while, but I got lots to do. If I got to stay here for another 50 plus years, I'm going to give up, you know, and that'd be beautiful to spend the rest of my life just traveling as a pastor, going to all 180 countries. And that'd take a long time to get to all those 180 countries. But man, I sure would love to do that and visit with people in the ministry and have them, the ones that want to come on the live stream and do lives with them. And, hey, not for a long time. Hey, we're hanging out for an hour or something and go while we're out visiting some ruins and down in South America or something like that. Or because this ministry is worldwide. It's not like the internet's some new thing, but we have people stop in for years now from all over the world. I do not think there's any place in any country that hasn't come in and visited as part of this ministry. So it should be something again that will serve for long after I'm gone. And I'm looking forward to hopefully again other people and enjoying what is so hard for people to get a piece of land and get it home and get started and get it paid off. But this is all taken care of here. So, and it's taken a lot of work, but I have, what is that, 4+ almost 4 years that it took me just to dig to get 28 feet down from where I'm at now, almost 3 stories from where I'm at. I mean, it's down in that ravine, but we'll get all that back out of there. And then eventually we'll be able to pull all that back and backfill that. That's another thing that thing is going to serve this ministry for time to come. And hopefully if it's serves as archiving the word, if we have, we're going to get hailstones. It's going to come eventually. Revelation 16 and 21, that Honga Tonga eruption went off in 2022 and it's starting to ring out. That's why we've been seeing this. And so it's going to get a lot worse. I do believe we're going to eventually see on this cycle, we're going to get some hailstones, in this next couple seasons here, and they are going to absolutely dwarf, the seasons, the ones in the past. It's going to increase. I've been studying this cycle on YouTube, guys. I put out, I don't know how many valid YouTube channels that I've covered and put out this hail cycle because I've been paying attention to this, knew this was coming. When I discovered, basketball size hail during the 1800s, basketball size hail, because that's not what doesn't talk about it. You have to get off these records and find some of these, records that weren't on the internet, and that's unbelievable, man. They literally leveled wooden cities to the ground, I mean, leveled them. So, all right, let me get up. If you want to support the ministry, hit that thumbs up button. Links are in the description if you want to support the ministry with a monetary tithe. You don't have to. Don't worry about it. I always say that. To be a part of the ministry is never going to involve money. If you want to help, then you can do that. It's not. I won't not take the time. What am I going to eat here, puppy dogs? What's Dad going to eat? I was thinking about having some chili. Want chili or no? No, I want. What does Dad want? What Dad wants, I want. I'm not as hungry as I was. Yeah, I won't want to do a whole big old meal. Maybe I'll wait tomorrow. Just eat something. Maybe some beans. Need some beans. I want some beans. What kind of beans do we need? Let's eat some beans. We got all kinds of beans. Oh, that was hard.
got a piece. That's what I want right there, right there, right there. Put some butter in it there. Some butter over there. Some butter. There we go. Some heat on that. Heat on that. Oof. This chicken seed. Have any? Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do. Okay, where is that other pan? We have. I don't want to do that pan, do I? Let's do this. Come out of there. Okay, we need to add. Use this. Actually, let's use this. Okay, where's that butter at? Where'd butter go? Where's the butter? Heat on here. Oh. Okay. Okay, we need, what is it, an egg or 2 eggs? These 1 egg. One huevo. making some black-eyed peas and some cornbread. Cornbread. Mix this up real quick. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at that, baby. Herbs. All right, got that going, got that going. You. That do its thing. There. Turn those up a little bit. Cover that. Should be good to go. I don't know what I'm gonna let though. All right. We got some cornbread. I was gonna make cornbread and chili, but I think I'm gonna get cornbread and some black-eyed peas. No, I don't make too much cornbread very often because I don't eat corn. I don't like corn anymore. It tastes good, but it's not good for you. So I can do cornbread, but not really corn. I stay away from steer clear of corn. I don't eat a lot of things, so. But I'll probably eat more when I get out of this country. It's just the food in this country is not very good. It's all genetically modified and all nasty. And so that's the whole idea too, is just to have a better diet, you know what I'm saying, to eat better and to eat better quality food. You are what you eat. You know, I love eating 6-8 eggs every day. You know, it gives me all the extra protein I need to, you know, helps all the extra little added stress, keeps that kind of at bay. So it sure is nice having, you know, those eggs out here. I miss having a full farm where I did, you know, goats and sheep and hogs and chickens and rabbits and breed dogs. I was pretty busy. I stayed pretty busy and did building a shelter and cabins, and I'm always doing too many things, man. Too many things. Spread myself a little too thin sometimes. That's all right. Idle hands are the work of the devil, so better to stay busy. And all right, there we go. So yeah, I like to have more things that I know what to do with, or otherwise I get bored with life. I need to
keep myself active. Otherwise, I get my mind just constantly never stops until I go to bed and pass out. So sometimes working, it doesn't stop. It just helps slow the mind down a lot. So if I stay real busy, it can keep myself from overthinking things. Like people always told me, you overthink everything, man. So whatever, man. I can't change who I am. I'm not like that anymore. Not as much as I used to. I mean, I still have. How am I yawning for? I'm not tired. Huh. So I'm pretty excited about. This got a couple 65 or 64 days until that next till the court date. So I'm finally going to be done with this case, guys. It's really overwhelming me a little bit because I've been stuck in this loop for 16 months. I'm a little overwhelmed thinking that my life is going to move forward here. It's just a little overwhelming. Been so used to being stuck in this rut, I haven't been able to go anywhere in 16 months. It's put every bit of effort I have it. So I don't know, man. It could be strange to not have to be tied down to what all. And I think if I don't get tied down, I'm gonna go like a bird, and I'm never gonna stop flying. I'm gonna stay in flight, man. I'm never gonna touch the ground. So I'm gonna try. We'll see. I said I really don't want to make a whole lot of plans because Father has 100% controls of my life, and I can't do what I want in my life. He controls my life. So many times in my life, he shows I can't make any moves. He makes all the moves for me. So he's steering the ship. So I remember when I was really young, he was drawing me to him. I didn't know how to. I wanted him, but I didn't. It wasn't me wanting him. It was him wanting me. And now I understand why. So I can't control my life because he's the one who's steering the ship. So I steer the ship, I wreck it, and crash it into the iceberg like Titanic. So I let him steer the ship now, and I just have to accept wherever he steers it. So that was the whole idea for future tense, is to be able to just let, like a bird not worries what it, in the field, what's going to eat. Just let life come at me. And what I have decided too, what I'm really starting to understand is, after this court date is over, even if it takes years or something happens or something, whatever, I'm trading experience, over anything. I don't want to own anything. I want to trade my possessions, for owning things, for experience. I'd rather have experience than possessions in life. I don't want to I don't want to try to own anything anymore. You know, I've owned so many things and had plenty of wealth, and I'm saying, been through. I can't believe the money I go through sometimes. I don't waste it, but what I build and what I do. I mean, talking about $250,000 storm shelter on the back of that property, minimum to build, minimum. And look how far, look how much of it's done. And so, but I think in the future, I want experience. I want experience over possession. So I'm willing to just let go of just everything. Like, I don't want to ever own anything ever again. A vehicle to travel, or something, whatever, just travel. I don't want to actually own anything. I never even bought this property for me. Remember, I bought it to build a community. So um, I'm so ready for that, guys. Yeah, if that's what Father wants for me, I just would rather trade my experience in life and have experience no matter what it is. I don't care how hard it is. At this point, I want to have an organic experience and not do this. I love the ministry. I love what has been able to, what Father has created out here. And even in my life, it's been hard, but man, it's time to, I want to take experience over possession, if that makes sense. I know most people don't want that. They kind of think they need to have a house and a job and all that, and that's fine. I'm not saying that people can't still live a life, but to me, I'd rather take experience, travel and go see nature for the rest of my life and just go meet people and not worry about owning anything. as long as I have, and I should be able to do that with this lawsuit, guys. As much as I don't want to file this lawsuit, I'm going to file this lawsuit, and I will have more money that I know what to do with. And I don't live like that, so I'm going to try to be a super minimalist too. And not, there's no reason to be, frivolous and live extravagantly like that. I don't live that way, anyways. I wouldn't want to live that way. It's just not my lifestyle. I still build old stuff and repurpose stuff, and I just probably, you know, probably hire people to help me now instead of doing all the work on myself. So it'd be nice to have a hire hand so I can hire somebody instead of doing all the things. I can't imagine if I could hire somebody out here and help me what this place would look like. Holy crap. All right, let's check on here, see what we got. Turn that off for a minute. Don't overdo those. All right, that's good. Good there. Good there. There it is. I got another 10 minutes on that cornbread. Cooking her on the stove. Oh my goodness. Oh, I think it's time to maybe take some medication, some medicals. I think I put on a coat. It's starting to get a little cooler in here. Oh, dropped my other phone there. Drop the other phone. Oh. All right, I think it's time to chooch on some flowers. I hit those ladies with a little more chicken fertilizer today because they seem like they're going to go for a little bit longer. So I'm going to go ahead and hit them with a little bit more chicken poop. So it's some stuff I had sitting in a bucket, kind of in a 5-gallon bucket, doing its thing. So it'll probably be the last time they get any more fertilizer. But they're doing really good. They're really doing. I mean, they're not super big or anything, but that's okay. I don't want them. They're just doing good. They're doing very good. I wish they'd let me get back on here, and they used to let me use that. I don't know where it went, man. That sucks. They just let me put stuff in the background. I don't know why they don't do that anymore. I know it's never going to be there again. What the heck did they do with it? We should go try to do an update on the YouTube. When was the last time I updated YouTube? I updated it. It didn't work last time. Remember there for a little while they let me put stuff in the background so I could make a background behind me. Took a picture of the ladies. Oh man, they are pretty. They're pretty. They are pretty. Yep. How you doing, lady? Red? Oh, man. So what am I going to do with my life if I don't go to jail? It's going to be weird, man. It's going to be weird having my life back. I'm not going to know what to do. I'm not going to know what to do. Oh, my goodness. Worked on the outdoor garden today. As soon as I went to go through the roofing on there, it got all windy. And I went to go pick up the roofing. It did that to me the other day. So we did some more things around here. I like the front of the house. It turned out good. I have to tear down that doggone saloon to rebuild the doggone saloon, and put it up closer or put it up front and get it away from the house. And I think that's when I'm going to go ahead and try to do the rest of the front of that side of the house, because it's real close up to the fence. It's difficult to be swinging a hammer up there, nailing those boards in. So I'm going to relocate the fence line on that whole front of the property, and take the saloon and move it up front, and move so I can have room in front of I want to have room in front of the rusty Dragon. I mean, I like the way it was out there, but I'd like to change it. I think it'll look better up more. And then I'll add to it. I'll make that even the rusty, the doggone saloon. Even I got some ideas to change it up a little bit. I like the way it looked, but I'm gonna add to it a little bit more. So change it up, make it nicer, put a new roof on it, or put a different roof on it. So more projects going. Got to do the ladies' hen house too. So hopefully tomorrow I'll finish that about an hour. I think it'd take about an hour or two to finish the roof on the outdoor garden, and then I can move on to the ladies' hen house. I'm gonna build a little bit bigger kennel. I think I want to try to maybe do it not too much bigger, but have a little bit more room in there, and change their doorway. I need to change their doorway, make it so that I don't have a door that I need to open during the winter. I'm going to struggle to get that open with snow. And I can let them out the other side, but I'm going to change it so I can put like a regular sliding type of door where I can slide the door out and they can come out the door that way instead of an opening door. I have that door so I can clean their coop, but the one bird keeps jumping up on the ledge and then jumping over another. So I'm just going to build it bigger, just change the whole thing. So probably spend a day or two doing that, change it up. It'll look good, and then I can insulate it more. I'm really trying to get some better R factors so they have a nice, warm place to stay for the winter, because I'm not gonna heat lamp them, So, yeah. Well, I wanted to try to keep them, laying eggs for as long as I can. Kevin seems to think I can keep them laying through the winter, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit longer. It'll take a little bit longer sitting in that pan. The bottom's done, but the top's not quite there. So I'll let it cook just a little bit longer. Oh my goodness. So I think what I'm trying to do is plan to leave the U.S., if I'm either going to go to jail or be free, I should probably be leaving pretty shortly after, because these Deagle maps by the end of 2025, if this hasn't happened by then, I'm definitely going to want to be headed out, getting down south, or I don't know. I might fly out to a completely different country than down south. I've even been thinking about going and visiting Asia. Going over to Asia first. That'd be a lot of fun. But I'm going to see how this progresses. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to see how this, I feel like this whole country will be in lockdown by December 2nd. That is so far away from right now. At the rate that things are going, I think there'll be military in all 50 states. We know when you see military in all 50 states that we're really close to this event, brothers and sisters, because it's already here. But don't fool yourself. You should already kind of be wondering, why is there military in 25 states? And we didn't see that during the COVID, the greatest scamdemic ever. So it's here, and it's going to get more, and they're going to just keep putting military in more and more states until they have them in all 50 states. So I think by December 2nd, put a 1 in the chat if you think by December, it's October, November, that's 2 months from now, there's military in 25 states. In 2 months, do you think we'll have military in all 50 states by December? Put a 1 in the chat. Yes, 2, no. I don't want that. Damn it. I know I don't want that, lady, right? I think we are. I'm a 1. I'm a 1. I think we are. I don't want that. I want to be able to go without, I should be fine, to still hopefully travel if we are not. But I don't think this is going to be a place where you're going to be able to get and move around by December, guys. It's just progressing so fast right now. You know what I'm saying? It's just breakneck speed. So, it's like I want to leave right now. I want to leave right now, but I can't. I got to stay here. I got to put all my faith in Father and just keep grinding here. Anything could happen. Anything could happen at this point. You know what I'm saying? Anything is on the table, if you ask me. It just doesn't seem like that December will be yeah, Lady in Red, do you watch Monkey Works? Are you watching Monkey Works at all? That's another channel that I've referred you to. If you like, watching somebody, he's an Air Force veteran. He does all their Spyglass app and the all the different he has so many different apps that he uses to do all the different Spyglass and the what is the other one he uses? Some of the apps he watches all the military flights. He was the one that I was watching when they were flying all these people into the country, they're flying people into this country. So I know they're flying them in here. Yeah, that's the science experiment. We're having a science experiment over here. We've got some dry ice.
It's dry ice. I'm blowing some dry ice out. Dry ice. Oh. Don't mind the dry ice. We're just having some dry ice sessions over here. We're having some weird science. Bits and pieces, pots and pans, bits and pieces, and bits and pieces, and don't mind my beaker. It's getting a little cold in here. I think I can see my breath. Man, I think I might be getting cold. I'm getting a cough. No, just kidding. I don't get sick. I don't get sick. I've been sick and I don't get sick because I don't do drugs. You know what I'm saying? I try not to eat nasty stuff. And if I do, I just don't eat too much of it anymore. I used to eat a lot of stuff I shouldn't eat. So, heck yeah, don't mind we're having some weird science over here. Like I said, she blinded me with science. Wah, wah, wah. No. She blinded me with science. God, that was such a good movie. Why did I like that movie? Weird Science. Weird Science. Yeah, I'm just blowing bubbles in here. We're just having an alchemy experiment over here on the sidelines. So it's just me and my buddy Bubbles. He's from Trailer Park Boys. It's Bubbles. Don't worry, it's just Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys. He loves the kitties. Terrible. So we're just having a kitty bubble experiment over here. So, oh my goodness. Oh, I wish it was December 2nd. Oh my goodness. All right, I better get up and check on my cornbread. Check on the cornbread. I think we're probably done. All in? All done. That's probably good enough. All right, we'll do that. We'll actually turn that back out. Get those warm back up. Hey, Steph, that why did you fall off there like that? Thank you.
No conversation with the paper, that part. All right. Get that off. Everything's off. 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 Yep, that's off. That's off. All right, now here we go. Some cornbread, some black-eyed peas. Oh yeah! Thank you, Father, for the blessing. Like I'm in the hell of filthy, dirty South. Oh, that's honey cornbread. Never heard of cornbread salad. That's nice and crispy. Look at that cornbread. I cooked it in butter on both sides. Look at the cornbread. I could eat that often. But yeah. Feel like I'm in Tennessee. I normally don't eat corn. So I made some cornbread in a pan. I made it and folded it over on itself. Thank you, Father. I'm saying it's nice and golden on both sides there. Crispy. So that honey cornbread with those black-eyed peas. Hey, you can be in here if you have a Bureau investigation. Fuck the FBI. The fuck out of here, you fucking stupid fucking corporation, piece of fucking shit, fucking tyrant, low man on the totem pole. Go fuck yourself, FBI. I called you motherfuckers. You better get out here, investigate Lake County, and find my dead fucking son and daughter off that mountain, or you're getting a goddamn lawsuit against you too. Fake pig. Just playing the part. So, if they were real anyways, I don't care. I'd still say thing. If that was the FBI, I'd say the same thing. So, I would. Look at that, dude. Look at that. That's so freaking good. Look at that. Oh, with the freaking black-eyed peas. Oh, with the black-eyed peas.
Man, that is some crunchy cornbread. That's got the perfect grit to it there, boys. Yeah, we don't soak with swine, pigs. Yep, yes, pig. Pigs. I'm exercising my redress of grievances and my First Amendment right, so nothing illegal going on here. Well, legal is not even lawful, so never mind. Ha. And that's super duper. Super duper duper. I feel like I want some pulled pork with that, you know. No, I can't eat no pulled pork. I'll be suing the FBI, by the way. Well, the federal government. Because I called the government before and never did anything. So Rax is in a sling. Man, I'm getting full. That's some cracked cornbread there, boys. I tell you what. Cracked with probably some genetically modified corn. Well, I don't eat very much of it, so sure is tasty though. I don't eat a lot of sweets. It's really sweet. A little salty on the black-eyed peas there. With some butter and some Himalayan pink salt in those. Man, I think it's my last bite. Oh man, that's hitting me, hitting the belly. Yeah, I went through and put some shorts up there today. Loaded my silly singing video up there. My horrible voice. I gotta track a pack of coyotes. Oh man. I think that's the last bite. I keep saying that, but that darn cornbread's so sweet. It's honey cornbread. Honey cornbread. All right. No mas. No more. I can't eat big meals like that. No, thank you. All right, good job, though. Are they enough to be able to get from the table? Oh, man. That cornbread is thick. Ooh. All right, I need some Berkey. Everything's better with Berkey. Oh, man. Oh, I love Berkey water. It's better than any kind of drug you can take. All right, I'm out of water. Oh man, that was super. Oh, thank you, Father, for the abundance. Oh, you give me such bounty. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, man. That cornbread's sticking to my ribs. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's wasn't very good. My stomach is telling me I shouldn't eat that. I don't eat cornbread very often. It tastes good, but my stomach's not liking it. It's like, oh no. Don't eat corn, you stupid idiot. That's freaking genetically modified. I am the great Cornelio. Are you threatening me? Come on with your pants down. Sorry about that. Oh, never mind. Oh man, eat that damn cornbread. It's turned into Cornelio there. Are you threatening me? Oh man, eat the cornbread, turn into Cornelio. So oh man. What happened to Beavis? He ate like 27 candy bars and drank like a 6-pack of root beer. Weird science. Bits and pieces, pots and pans, bits and pieces. Oh man. Those flowers are looking so nice. They got a little ways to go though. That's good. That's good. That's good. Want to get that roof on that building. I don't know if that building will freeze or not. You know what I'm saying? It's got a lot. All those walls are, all the glass on that's double pane, you know, because those are cooler doors. And those are sliding glass doors, big, thick sliding glass doors. So it might stay above freezing in there, you know. And those plants could probably get down. I mean, you can. I've seen cannabis plants freeze, get snow on them, and you know. But oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't eat pork. No pork for me. I'll never touch pork ever again. No way I would ever put pork in my face. It's just not. It's not clean. It's just not. I mean, there's things that it doesn't matter. People can eat all the pork. They can eat pork for the rest of their life every day, and it's not going to get you out of the graces of Father. There's nothing spiritual that people can't eat pork. But to me, I would never, ever, ever eat pork ever again. No way. No way. But it sure tastes good. You know, I got that beef bacon about 5 or 6 times. And that stuff is over the top. That stuff tastes almost identical to pork. And I'm like, no way. But I know what it is. I know how they put. It's cured. It's a cured beef, so they cure it in a brine, and it gives it that little bit hickory and smoky, gives it that bacon flavor. But it's like twice as much as bacon. 3 times as much as pork bacon. But it's pretty damn good. It tastes so salty. We like that the pork's so salty. I can make some good pork, but I don't think I would never, unless I raised it, unless I raised pork I don't want to. I know the way it's raised. I was a meat man for too long. I sold meat, I always sold organic meat, all gold medallion pork. So that's not a, it's not a slop fed, like that. Slop is so nasty now. It's not even. It's like trash. I remember so many times when I was coming off of pork, long time, 20 years ago, and I was like, why'd every time I go to the store and I take this pork out from the store, does it stink like the trash can? You have that because they feed it trash, because they feed the darn things trash. Their slop used to be, the ends of the garden, stuff out of the meal, scraping the plates off, now they just feed them trash. Trash. And they have worms. They have worms that are really hard to get rid of. So. Yeah, I like turkey bacon. That's all right. It don't taste like bacon though. It don't have no. The texture's all off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's why I don't want to eat no pork. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're no. I ate a lot of pork. I ate all the pork I need to eat for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? It's tasty, but I don't want that in my body. No, 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 no. I care more about my body. I'll just smoke some more dry ice. A bowl of bubbles, and no thank you. And like I said, if people want to eat it, it don't matter. I would never think any different if somebody like tastes pork. I enjoyed eating pork. I make pork. I don't want crappy pork, That's why I raised pork out here, and but it don't taste like no store-bought pork, And you get a butcher or something, get good pork, that's different, It's not different as far as it still doesn't, I still wouldn't eat it now, but that's way better in the store. That stuff from the store, like I said, you don't want to know what they feed those animals. Oh my goodness. Some of the conditions in pork farms, and oh my goodness. Yeah, there's a good chance you might they better have as a pet. They make a good pet, you know what I'm saying? People have them as pets and they work, they're house trained, they're, and they're not like that. I know people have them, they don't put them in mud and they don't get stinky like that, it's not like that, but it's just they are, like I said, they got worms. We're at war already there. What was it? Myers, we're already at war. Well, we've been at war for how long? Silent weapons with chloridation, spraying us, and so. How's it go there, Nicole? Just hanging out here, doing work. Got to get the lid on tomorrow. Every time we go to put the lid on the garden, the wind starts picking up out here, so I didn't get on it today, but
I'm gonna get her to done. I got all the blocking and stuff. That roof's gonna be, it'll be a nice roof. It'll hold a real heavy snow load because it's not super slope. So it'll do the job that it needs to. Oh man. So I'm trying to figure out, how soon after I want to get out of here if they don't throw me in jail. You know? No, I tried to get the roof done. I put the blocking in it, which I needed to do, and I was going to do it and try to slide them up underneath and screw it down that way, which still would have worked. And I did because the wind picked up the other day. Um, I had worked on the front of the house and did some other things, but I did today. I was getting up there. As soon as I went to go get that roofing from up front, man, the wind started blowing. No, I don't have any firewood. No firewood. It's pretty cold. The cabin's like 39 degrees or whatever, but that's all right. I don't care. I'm dealing with it. I don't care. It is what it is. I'll get these other things done here in the next couple of days, and then I'll get moved over to the Rusty Cow or the Rusty Dragon over there next week or so. So I'm actually, like I said, I'm planning on going. I'm planning on going. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I'm planning on going. So either going or I'm going to jail. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like I don't, because you know what I'm saying. It's like that's true. Uh, oh, I've been Arctic train. I've been colder than that, but um, uh, I got to move out of this. Why am I yawning? I'm not even tired. That's weird. Well, December 2nd is my court date for my trial. So it's only 1 day trial. So December 3rd or something, I'll be in jail or I'll get my life back, which is kind of strange because it's so hard to even think. I've been so stuck in this twilight time zone deal. But I don't know. I'm gonna go file the lawsuit this week, and maybe they'll drop it sooner because if they want to take me to trial, yeah, that's where I've been. It's insane. Obviously, you've been a witness, and it's unbelievable. But and still, nothing's gonna happen with Elijah. But it is what it is. But yeah, we'll see. John only wants a 1 day trial. I don't think it will, Nicole. Though, you know what I'm saying? I asked Lady in Red's the only one who answered me, but I don't think it by December 3rd that you'll be able to, you know. Um, oh boy, oh boy, oh, I was full of a whole bunch of screaming demons. No, bunch of teenagers. Uh, there's no fooling anymore, Lady in Red. See what I'm saying? There's no more of that. I have a trial. I need to come up with $5,000 more, and I'll for sure be able to. There's got to be a result. So that's what I'm saying. I finally have an ending point, and it's just starting to hit me. It's just starting to hit me that there is an ending point in this. I have actually started. It wouldn't think of it because this is the result that all that I wanted. You know what I'm saying? This isn't anywhere that I thought it would be, but that's okay. But trial December 2nd, so 1 day trial. So he didn't even want a day and a half. So, um, but they don't have a case. So so we can mod out people who say stupid things in this channel. We don't allow any childish behavior in here. Um, but it feels weird having to date, having this, um, because I feel like I'm still stuck, but I'm starting to realize, child misbehavior gets you noticed. Yeah, no children in here. It's just an adult only stream. Everybody's somebody's kid, so it don't matter. People who act childish are adults, and some children are even more adult than, act more like adult than some of these adults these days. But everybody's somebody's kid. But it just feels strange to have a date here where I know that either I'm going to go to jail and or I'm done. I'm done, and it just seems really weird. After it'll be 18 months. It'll be 552 days from 552 days. So that's almost 2 years, a year and a half, man. I can't believe it's been that long since I've seen my son. So yeah, I don't even think by December 2nd there'll be travel. Will be restrained in the U.S. I don't think you'll be able to travel like we do now without. I'm pretty sure there's, at the rate that things are going right now, it's moving at breakneck speed. There's so many things happening on a daily. Even somebody like me has been doing this for 30 plus years. Are having a hard time keeping up with this stuff. It really is. They're moving. They're moving quickly. And I know that's we must be getting real close to this event, whatever it is that they have planned, because they just put military in the streets of America on 25 states now in Oregon. And if you go to Portland, there's nothing going on in Portland. There's nothing going on in Portland. I've been telling you guys over and over. Go look at all the bloggers up there. They're walking around the streets showing you there's nothing going on in Portland. Voodoo Donuts, there's nobody down by the ice place. It's just normal Portland. Normal Portland. So but I know there's a bigger agenda under this, and so I'm not trying to stop it, but I bet you if I had the funding right now and I go there for 3 or 4 days and show you there's nothing going on in Portland like they're saying there is. And he's still going to put the military here anyways. So it's just normal city things going on in Portland. Nothing is out of the ordinary that have been there for it. What happened years ago, and the cops stood by. Those are the ones who need put in jail. Those are the ones who need investigated. But Donald Trump loves cops, remember? So he ain't no putting no cops in jail. He make more cops. He loves the police state. He loves the police state. What shall we get there? All right, you guys. Beer, or try to. I hope you're doing what you need to do here, and keep it gospel, brothers and sisters. That's all that matters on this rock, so you know. It's all that. Yeah, Palantir. It's all happening, brothers and sisters. They're going to bring in their, lights out event followed by Palantir and Boston Dynamics and DARPA and bringing their military industrial complex. You know what I'm saying? Well, you can't put your head in the sand like that, Nicole. You can't put your head down. You have to be standing up to this beast. If you want to be with Father, you cannot put your head down. That's Antichrist. It says, do not hide that light in a basket.
put at the top of your house, and you have to stand up to this beast. You have to care about this system, and you have to make sure that you're speaking up. That's what Christ did, and he suffered because of that. So if you're not suffering because of that, then you're not going to go to the wedding feast of the lambs. You're not going to be there. That's what it says. You have to be Christ-like. You have to conform to his image. So he went out and shared the gospel, and he got resistance. And in this case, we have to form to his image. And I know you have things. I'm just saying there's people don't realize, to be Christ-like, he stood up to the law. He was hated, and he stood up to the church and the law. And so, be Christ-like, you need to be doing that. And most people are not doing that, not willing to do that at all. So at least don't put your head in the sand. You got to pay attention to what's going on, so you can be ready and be wise, so you can get out of the way more than anything, not fight. I understand you don't want to fight with anybody. I got that's the right thing to do. So, but I got you. I told you here, but right now people need to hear this, Nicole. People need to hear this. Christ stood up to the law. Christ stood up. Remember, you've turned my father's house into a den of thieves. All this fiend and finding, what they do to us. We don't, since we get taxed so much, it's disgusting. Father would be in jail right now. Christ would be in jail. They'd have whipped him and beat him again and probably killed him. He would not stand for what's going on in America, this disgusting nation. They started a revolutionary war over 2%, right? Now they got a state, a federal, a gross net. I mean, it makes me sick. All this money gets taxed, and you get taxed on the money to put fuel in your car. You get taxed to use your phone, and your trash bill, and power bill, and what. This is disgusting. Father would never stand for this. So that's what I'm talking about. Not don't partake in it. That's how we do it, by pointing out and showing people that this is the Broadway. This is the same thing that Christ stood up to, because they had perverted the law. And this corporation now once was a constitutional republic. So we have to stand against this, because it's strangling, and it has strangled every nation. They're kicking people off the streets for being too poor, not migrants now. Well, migrants too, but they're, not having enough money. And we spend $1 trillion every year on a military budget. They're printing $1 trillion every 100 days. So, I know you're not saying don't partake in unfruitful works of darkness. Come out of her, my people. Right? That's maybe more what you're saying. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but we got to stand up against this. We've got to speak up. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Governor Tampax. Kotek. Sorry, ladies. But another plug they put in there, like brown. If it's brown, flush it down. Remember, here we go again. Same thing. Same agenda. 2 cheeks to the same hole. 2 wings to the same dragon. Do fish get thirsty? No, but the other day I was worried because I was my fish. She's sitting there in the tank. She's like, "Help me, man! I'm drowning." So I don't know. It has been a country minute since I had a fish tank. Nicole's seen some of my fish tanks. I've had some pretty I like some pretty good fish tanks there off of in Springfield. That was a pretty good couple good tanks in that house. Remember? So I like my fish tanks, but no, I don't have a fish tank right now. Right. Yeah. Yeah, it said, "Help me, my fish are drowning." There you go. Some Finding Nemo going on in here. Yeah, it's called Creatures of Habit. It's Creatures of Habit. Same thing. Same dick, same. So they like a routine. We don't need no education. So they just like to walk to the meat grinder. It's just what they do. They're mentally challenged. So, yeah, my fish drowned. So, That happens, man. People die every day. So at least we're all have that in common. We're all gonna die. Oh no. Are you afraid? Go live a little more then if you're afraid to die. What are you doing on here? Go live a little bit. So anyways, all right. Remember, Father created all things. There's nothing happening by chance. Don't let any of all my groceries. I got groceries for daisies, for daisies. Daisy Dukes and charity. Got plenty for charity. I used to have a girlfriend named Charity. Used to go around collecting door to door money for charity. Man, I used to make a buck, spank, dude. Fat, was rolling thick. So, but that's the old me. Don't turn me back to the old me. So, no, I'm just kidding. I didn't have a girlfriend named Charity. She was Penny. That was my wife. So, not Charities. So, oh man, there's a mistake right there. But that's okay. It's okay. Father creates all things. He really likes beating the people he loves. You know what I'm saying? That's what he does. He beats people he loves the most. So that's good stuff. I'm always doing that. Always talking about Jesus. Why are you always talking about Jesus? Well, that's what we do. Some of us, we just can't stop talking about it. Stop it. Warning. May randomly start talking about Jesus. Yep, it happens. Everything's about Christ, man. I don't care what everybody says. I go and do it everywhere I go. I don't care what people think of me. Get out away from here. What do you mean not everything's about Christ? He created all things. How isn't everything about Christ? So not everything's about. Even Elijah said that. I mean, come on, Dad. You made everything in your life about Christ. Everything's Jesus. Everything's the Most High. You got to do something other than that. So, But yep, it says to go out and share the gospel, brothers and sisters. It said, do not hide that light in a basket. Sisters Gold, right? You're supposed to go out and share the gospel, share the good news. Tribulation, suffering. We must go through suffering to be with Father. Hados is the only way to the Father is through the narrow way, by cutting off self-will and not doing our will and doing Father's will. And know that you can't turn a goat into a sheep. It's not possible. So people be hungry for the word. You won't even have to try. They'll want more. I had a guy come over and talk to me, and he's like, I've never heard anything like this before, but this sounds exactly this sounds all right, because you're defining the words and you're using these images, and everything is just perfectly aligning. It's just not me doing it. It's the word that does it. So it's called cosmos and orderly arrangements. I don't think about it. Father makes me say it, right? Do not worry what you shall say. I will tell you the answer. So good stuff, brothers and sisters. The word is more beautiful than anything on this rock. It's more value than anything, than all these possessions combined. You know what I'm saying? So what a blessing it is to sup with others that are in the narrow way. That's what we're supposed to do. Do not sup with vipers. Do not cast your pearls before swine. So if people are in the broad way, show them to the narrow way. And if they don't want it, leave them alone. If not, you'll know they'll want it. They'll be hungry for the word. Father said, if I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, not one of them would, right? So he's making us do it. Nobody's bringing anybody to Jesus. We fellowship with people. That's called being charitable. Charity is with the gospel, not with money, not with food. Those are Old Testament. So but do remember that you got to go out and share this gospel. He says, don't boast because you know, but woe if you know not share the gospel. So you got to go out and share it. and it just comes up in conversation. And that all you do is you judge with righteous judgment. Remember, do not condemn them. Father will separate. He's the horizo. He's the one who separates the flock, the wheat from the chaff. He gets the first fruits. So we just show people the Father through the narrow way through Christ, showing them through the, meek, not weak. So I love the gospel so much, brothers and sisters. I hope you can pick up what the gospel is. The gospel is suffering. Antichrist is peace. Suffering is the word, right? Long suffering. Anti-peace, that's not peace. Peace means you're sitting on your butt and you're not doing anything, and you're not, that's, if your life is not difficult, you're probably doing it the wrong way. If you're not, a bird cannot achieve lift without resistance. So it's not possible. He's putting that and he's beating you because he loves you. Father only beats his bride. He doesn't beat the people that are already going to hell, hellbound. Why? The Leviathan's much more wise than that. Remember, wise as a serpent, gentle as a dove. Why would he be beating on people he loves or that are already hellbound? So, but good stuff. Hope you can find some interlinear text. That's the only text I study. All that other stuff's watered down. It's garbage. It's trash. Don't throw it away. Don't burn it, but you should archive it. Never read it ever again. So I know we've talked about this, and you can get whatever you can get. I know you can't get access to interlinear like that. They're $60. I paid. They're more than that a set, but something's better than nothing. And Father will show them the way. Father will pull them away from the wrong text and bring them to the right text. At least it's some kind of text in their hand. So good stuff. Appreciate your testimony. That's good. Like I said, I love going out sharing the word everywhere I go. People get real uncomfortable, but oh well, they get in their little comfy Jesus. He's an everyday Jesus. He's an everyday Christ. OCD, on Christ daily, not excessive compulsive disorder, not a mental disorder here. So, okay, brothers, so I'm gonna wrap this one up. You guys have enjoy the rest of your whatever time your zone that you're tuning in from here, because I know this ministry is worldwide here. North, east, west, and south. Get with the news. We're not spinning on a planet. Father didn't create any planets. That's not a scriptural or biblical word ever written once. So he said, don't add to my book. That's why I don't like all these other versions, because they're not the canonized version. But again, don't take away. And we all do it. So that's why it's important that you sup with the definition. There are apps such as eSword, and an interlinear is going to get you to the original text that it was written in. So that's just my recommendation. As long as Father's calling out to your heart, he's going to show you to the narrow way. So I do appreciate you guys showing your time and fellowshipping with us here at, High Desert Faith and Truth. It's important that we do this as a ministry as a whole, to reproof each other with the word. That's what the body of Christ does, is they go back and they sup not with vipers. They don't cast their pearls before swine. You don't need to give somebody who doesn't want the word a scripture. Don't throw your treasure amongst, you need that for when you get it, set that crown at the feet of Shiloh, so that he can cover you for your errors, because you are the heirs of the throne of the kingdom of heaven that is within. So Father does not dwell in any church anywhere on this rock. He called them as the synagogues as Satan. He doesn't. He dwells in Sister Nicole, going out there and fellowshipping with people everywhere on the streets and giving the word to everybody. This is a covenant of all flesh. Remember, he told them to go out and preach to the Gentile nations. All flesh under this covenant, brothers and sisters. So that's where the Most High dwells. He is inside the bride. He's written on tables of their hearts, not on altars anymore. This is not a sacrifice. He was the sacrifice. He was the ritual. He became the Last Supper. They ate lamb. He fulfilled all the rituals. Not getting anywhere by going and doing what Nicole's doing, right? Oh, I did great works and I cast out demons in your name, distributors of portions. It's by faith, in the faith that she's anchored in alone, the Father makes her anchored in, that keeps her, but it is the fellowship that she's going out. What the word tells her she has to do. Don't boast because you know, but go out and fellowship. So it's very important that you do all these things that Christ did. And so you're going to suffer. People aren't going to like hearing the word. So what? Leave alone then. Move on. But it is. Remember, they hated you before they hated me. And if this world doesn't hate you, then you're on the wrong path. You're on the broad way. You must be hated by this world. Remember, if you were loved by the world, you'd be hated by my Father. So you better make sure you're doing what Father is telling you to do in these books. Stick to the gospel. Don't be looking at all these other books. It's a waste of your time. I've studied them for decades. Stick to the 66 canonized, Old Testament 53. All those are blotted out, but you still need to know them. And the 13 new. We're under. I love this new covenant. I'm not worried about the old covenant. I'm not under that law. I'm not under the law. I'm not down by law or fate. I am chosen. I'm a bought and paid, purchased possession. I am his. I'm not this world's. They can't have me. And I don't want anything in this world but the word. So remember, he is the word. No matter what. That word is Hokadesh in the Hebrew, or Ruach Hokadesh, meaning the holy. Holy's not defiled. Holy Spirit, holy truth, holy aletheia, okay, Holy Ghost, and that is not something that exists in a physical. It is pure, unadulterated light without flesh, right? This is what makes us sin, is this flesh, brothers and sisters. And he said he's going to take that. So he said, I'm going to go where my Father's house is at, and I'm going to prepare a place. He used to come one day a year behind the physical veil, behind the temple. Now he dwells within the hearts of the bride. Okay, he dwells within the hearts of the bride. So if you know this, he said, don't hide it. You have to go out and share this word with others. That is what the fellowship that we do. And he tells us, but we don't try to turn goats into sheep. And if we're along our way in our path of fellowshipping with others, just because we're supposed to do this every day and all the time, 2 times. If somebody doesn't want it, leave them alone. They're probably a vessel of wrath, fitted to destruction. He said, do not cast your pearls before swine. Your pearls is this gospel that I'm telling you. That is your treasure. He is our prize. He's what you're supposed to be running for, right? Meeting him halfway, right? He's not coming to you while you're sitting down. You got to get up and do this. This is a sit down Jesus on some church pew Sunday. You get up. This is an active Jesus. This is a 7-day gospel. Who shall ever come after me? Let them deny themselves daily. Take up their cross daily. Whoever should be my disciples. These are Luke and Matthew. Take up your cross, follow after me. Do what I did. Does anybody want to hang you from a tree? Remember, the word nice means to be stupid. So don't go out there and try to be nice to people. Show them to the narrow way. If they're in the broad way, it says, what are the 2 golden rules of the, that we put Father before all things, and that do unto others as you would have done unto you. That is in the scripture. Agape thy neighbor, agape thy enemy, and agape like thyself. So your biggest enemy is you. A man's enemies, Matthew 10:34-39, it would be the one of his own household. I come to divide where one believes, a man's enemy, and the other does not, because people aren't wanting this faith. They don't want that because Father didn't make them anchored in faith. They are vessels of wrath fitted for destruction from the foundation of the world. Do you understand? So you're not changing anything. Father created all things. No free will, no such thing as luck, no such thing as being saved. Nobody's been saved. Nobody can't be saved. All blasphemy. Sozo, you have to die. And when Father comes back, he picks up what he bought and paid for through Shiloh. Then you are saved. You must endure to the end, he said, to be saved. So remember, no matter what you think, Father said, if I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, not one of them would. Not one of us are doing this. He is making us come to him. So you are not out there bringing anybody to Christ. I have wasted a decade or more of my life thinking that I'm bringing people to Jesus. Okay? You're not bringing anybody to Christ. You fellowship with these people, and if they want the word, you give it to them and you move on. 2 times. That's all you have to do for the rest of your life. That's the only reason you're here.
It's the only reason the bride is here, is to fellowship and share that the king is coming. He is nigh. He's yoked man and woman, Jew and Gentile, good and evil, black, white, brown, red, and yellow. Okay, not just Aaron and Levi, but it's just a little bit of everybody this time. It's not everybody. You better get up every day and tell yourself, everybody I know is evil. Because that's what the scripture says. Broad is the way that leads to the wide gate, hell. No knowledge of this scripture that I'm telling you. Most people don't want it. Most people want to go through some easy, no suffering. Peace is anti-Christ. He said, do not think I came to bring peace. I came to bring a division. That sword of division is horizo. I divide. I divide. I'm the one who separates the wheat from the chaff. You go out and you share the light 2 times with them. If they're in the broad way, agape thy neighbor like the enemy like thyself. You just show them to the narrow way. That's it. Do you understand? That's it. That is what we are here to do. We serve no other purpose. There is all these other things I understand that we have to do while we're here. But what we are here to do as a disciple of Christ, to execute this command, to love him, is to take up your cross, and you will suffer because of that. So people aren't going to like, they want this sweet Jesus that they can just accept Christ. You cannot accept Christ. You can't be saved. There's no such thing as free will. There's no such thing as luck. God's not in the sky. This is all sensationalism. 99% of these people who walk this rock are Satanists. Get yourself that through your head. Wide is the gate. Most people enter through the wide gate. Very few, only Goss, find the straight gate. So God does not love everybody. Only those that at that marriage supper, at the wedding feast of the lambs, will have their names called out in the book. So if you go out there in this world now, you better stop walking around like everybody's, well, there's a lot of good people. No, most people are evil. Though it's everybody you eat, and this will help you pull the veil off of people. They're acting like everything's okay. They're acting like they can do this easy Christ. He's not in a temple made by hands. That's why you have to go out and get up off your butt and share the word with people and show them to the narrow way. And the gospel does it for itself. If they want it, they'll be hungry. You won't force a goat into being a sheep. It's not possible. Okay? Father already chose from the foundation of the world vessels of wrath fitted for destruction from the foundation of the world, and vessels of mercy. Those he knew before any of this was ever created that he would call out in that book of life, but it's a puny number. His bride is a teeny tiny. Old Testament, 1 sin, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, death. Add 1 jot, death. Add 1 tittle, death. That's why I don't like these other versions of the scripture. They're garbage. They're rubbish. You need to study 1 word at a time, slow down, only study the gospel. The only way through the Father is through the hados. That is the gospel. That is tribulation. That is suffering. You will suffer. Go around and tell people they're not supposed to celebrate, and they'll think you're crazy. You're not supposed to be celebrating a single day, or you are a Satanist. You understand? You've got to stop doing this. He said, come, learn not the ways of the heathens, learn not their traditions, their customs, their celebrations. They're vain, he said. Worthless. You're not getting to Father by celebrating anything. As a matter of fact, he made sure he fulfilled all these laws of celebrations, rituals, feasts, fines, customs, so that we don't do any of this anymore. Only by faith are you saved, and you got to die and be redeemed and have your name called out at that book of life to be saved. No such thing as being saved. No such thing as accepting Christ. I already said, he said, if I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, not one of them would. It tells us that our heart is continuously filled with wickedness, brothers, sisters. So you're not doing it. If you think you're doing it, you're an idolatry, exactly what the scripture tells you. You're serving your eyes, and you're serving lies to your eyes to yourself. That's what an idolater is. Fortunes or lies to self. You're serving your eyes. Serve the word. Start studying the word, and it'll mean everything. It'll come to life. Start studying it 1 word at a time. Get a lexicon. Stop studying these watered down versions. There's hundreds of versions of scripture you should never put your eyes on. Why would you read something when he says, don't change a jot or add or take away? I will blot your name out of that book. You will receive all the written plagues of this book. If you add even the smallest period, a period is a jot. So stop reading this other text. Throw them away. Archive them. Burn them. I don't care what you do with them. I prefer you archive them and let somebody read all the wrong translations later. So slow down, read one word at a time. He's the word. Get your concordance and start reading like I've told you how to do it on this channel, and the word comes to life. He's the word. That is the word. Hokadesh, spirit. Okay? You can't see spirit. It's inside of you. So he's inside of you. Don't worry about it. He sees what you're doing. You're not getting away with anything. He knows your intentions. Nobody's getting away with anything on this rock. That I can guarantee you. I wouldn't listen to it. He says, believe no man. Be sure no man perceive you. But I've studied for a long time, and I can guarantee you nobody's getting away with anything, because he's not in the sky. He's not in a house made by hands. He's not in a temple made by hands. The body's a temple. He's inside of us, and he knows exactly what we're thinking. So there's no free will. There's no luck. Father created all things. He said, I create everything that was ever written, everything that ever was, everything that ever will be, everything that's not, everything that it will be. So even if it hasn't happened yet, Father created that. That's why there is no free will. It is called porneia. It's called self-will. Self-will. Self-will is the Greek word porneia, idolatria. You're serving your eyes. He knows what you're going to do. You're not serving him. You have options, but he knows what option you're going to take, because you're not doing the option he told you to do. You're taking your option, but that's self-will, and that's why you'll have your name blotted out of the book of life. You sent yourself to hell. So, you understand? That's how it works, okay? But it's not through some easy sit down on your butt. You're going to get up every day and you're going to do this, and people aren't going to like it, and they're going to think it's going to get old. And it doesn't matter. When you're a servant, that you're a saint, then the blood that's in the cup of the saints that'll be poured out on the wrath of the nations is that blood of the saints, those that are serving. And they are beaten just like him. It's spiritual blood. Remember, I want to find your garments washed white, clean in the blood of the Lamb, just as he paid that bride price, and he paid with that blood. You're supposed to pay with that spiritual blood, brothers and sisters. It's not some free Jesus. It comes with the price. He paid the price, and you're going to have to pay the price. He paid the bride price. If you're not acting like Christ, conforming to his image, doing what he did, you're not going to have your name called out in that wedding feast of the Lambs. That doesn't take any kind of actual judgment. That's a matter of fact. So you better go out there taking up your cross. I hope this whole world hates you. I hope they hate you, because you're not giving them that watered down milk. Watered down. He said, eat of the meat. That was the fat. And this is HD fat. Not HD for the quality of what you see, but hopefully it doesn't fall on deaf ears. The quality of what you hear. Okay. The fat was the best part of the meat. Okay. Is what they considered. And, faith and truth. So only by faith and faith alone are we saved. Okay. But it's not a sit down. Faith is an action word. No. Faith is a noun, but you have to put legs on faith. Belief is an action word. So you can't believe in Jesus. Can't believe in Christ. Can't believe in the Hamashiach. Believe is an action word. It's not a thought in your head. It's a verb. So either way, there's nothing that says you can't be serving him. It says, actually, do not boast because you know. Well, if you don't, do not, partake in unfruitful works of darkness. Rebuke them with the light. So you can't sit down. This isn't a sit down Jesus, okay? So Christ is not going to stand for you perverting anything. So he said, don't add a jot or a tittle to my book, or I'll blot your name out of that book of life. He's not playing, brothers and sisters. He is not playing at all. Nothing's changed with Christ. He is I am. He is the word in flesh. So he said that before Abraham was I am. So one sin, death, add a jot, death, add a tittle, death, take away death, add porneia, death. You better stop thinking you know the scripture. You better study it one word at a time, and stop reading text that wasn't accepted and canonized. There's a reason why it wasn't canonized, because it wasn't aligned with what is called aletheia, definition. They took all those words out and defined them in the 12th century. All these other versions are garbage. There's nothing to them. The ones that were before that, Ethiopian, all these, they're not canonized. They are not defined. You need to study the words that have been defined, and all you need is the gospel. All that other things are confusing you. I don't talk about Jasher. I don't talk about Lilith. I don't talk about Enoch, Second Enoch. I don't talk about these books.
There's 22 of them. There's the Dead Sea Scrolls. There's plenty. I've read them. You ever read the Quran? It mentions Christ. You might want to, when you're done building your base, and don't build your house on sinking sand, build it on the rock. He said he's the Petra, the cornerstone, right? Then you might go and dabble into some of these other readings, and then you'll have a base, and you'll be wearing that armor of God, like it says in the gospel, in Paul's writing in Ephesians 6:11. Twice he tells you Paul went out and shared the gospel, and Paul is the gospel. So read all of Paul's writings, read all of Matthew, Peter, Luke, Mark. Those are all Father's words. When these disciples, remember, this is what he's expecting you to do. They all had a life. Tax collector, murderer, hooker. Well, he hang around. But listen, they gave up their life as they knew it. They followed Christ. He is the Word in flesh. Picked up the book, and this is what he tells us to do, and follow after me. So nothing's changed. You're going to have to be like every one of these disciples. Okay. And I'm telling you, they all died a martyr's death. I don't want any death for you that wasn't already, predestined, because that's bound by fate or law. So you don't live in fear. He said, hurry not who could take your flesh, only where he could take your flesh and your soul. And that's Father. Only those who fear the Lord will be written in the book of remembrance. There's 3 books, brothers, sisters, not just 2. So go back and study. And that's how you're going to find yourself worthy, by studying and reproofing the word with others that are not in the broad way, but are in the narrow way. Okay? So much agape and phileo. Thank you for your time. Thanks for coming in, everybody. Thanks for moderating. Thanks for coming in, Sister Nicole, again, and join us, Lady and Red. Everybody's in here. I've been in here for a while. Let's wrap this up. We've done this for a while again today. I appreciate you guys' time. If you want to leave a comment, that's a great way to help tithe to this ministry after the live stream about something that was in here. The thumbs up doesn't cost a single dime to hit that thumbs up before you leave, if you could do that. If you haven't already, if you want to, you don't have to. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. Don't need people to subscribe here that we don't want here. So come back when you have some more time. That's a way to tithe to this ministry more than anything. Your time is more valuable. Can't print it. And trying to make up time is near impossible. It's going so fast right now. So links are in the description if you want to leave a monetary tithe. It's not required to be a part of the ministry. So there is Cash App and PayPal and Bitcoin Cash App. But don't hit those buttons unless you have just extra money that you can literally just throw into the air and make it rain. Don't do that. I'm just, don't find somebody in your area. If it's not, a small tithe, then just use it, keep it for yourself, or find somebody right close to you. You can use it to closer. Okay. Father provides for this ministry, will not go without. We already have bounty and abundance beyond the treasure you couldn't fit in a treasure, in a safe, in a shredder, beyond. This isn't the kind of treasure you can measure. Isn't the kind of treasure that has a monetary value. That's what's so beautiful about this ministry, brothers, sisters. And just so you know, this base family, you're the ones who bring this value. I'm one disciple that loves the word. Okay. And, but I'm only one of 22. So thank you for everybody who makes this ministry what it is. That's why fellowship is not just by yourself. And so you make this word come to fruition when you come back. And he tells us to not sup with vipers, to fellowship with others, so we can prove the word. You are what Christ, we are doing what he tells us to do. This ministry is a blessing, brothers and sisters, beyond, I don't like to say that word anymore because it's, but it's bounty. It's treasure, again, that I hope you're finding it and gleaning and taking from this channel. And you're finding that it's not like any other channel. It's Father's channel. It's his channel. He created it. Brother Jim told me you can't just sit there by yourself in the middle of the desert alone, Tracy. So thank you, Brother Jim, for putting the word on me. That's what we're supposed to do. All right, hallelujah. Go see Brother Jim at Grace and Truth Ministries. He did a live stream today. And again, drop a comment, hit the thumbs up. Links are in the description. We'll see you on the next High Desert Faith and Truth Ministries broadcast. It says the word broadcast means to sow seeds. Okay, so it said the enemy came and sowed seeds while you're sleeping. So don't go to sleep until I see you next. I'm not telling you not go to bed, but spiritually stay awake. Okay, keep that lamp trim, be burning bright, and have your loins Maranatha, he said, girded into my service until I return. All right, Pastor Revelation, Pastor Apocalypse. Whoa.